felt kind of goofy because I was like, I hit the warm up button, like, the hey, let's get the stream started button. And then I just kept staring at the stairs for like an extra minute or something like that. I'm like, oh, whoops. My bad. What is up, everyone? This is Coffee with Soul. I'm your host. We're going to chat. We're going to talk. I'm going to express my appreciation, my double appreciation, renewed appreciation for folks who put together like those grand climbs with the stairs and all that stuff. I knew it was hard. To the point where I was like, I'm not even gonna try it. Never mind that stuff. I'm not gonna have stairs in my house at all. Screw that. But now that I'm doing Project House, I'm like, okay, now's my chance to like experiment with stuff and like figure things out. I'm like, ooh, this shit's hard. But I'm having fun learning the process and all that. So like right now I'm trying the experiment of, okay, let's make stairs that are like way too thin. So let me describe the goal. The goal is, here, let me zoom out. So I want to have a climb that starts at, roughly this angle here. And it's going to climb all the way up, right? All the way up, 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 up. And then it'll peak. I'll get to the top level here. So it's a lot of stairs. Maybe it's a lot of stairs. So I'm trying things at 100%. And I am slowly placing things down at 3 degrees per thing. No, 2 degrees per thing, which I think is a flaw. I think I should do 3 degrees because then I'll use that much fewer stairs. And there's not a whole lot of danger of me like making a gap here. I don't think that'll be a big deal. I did try something a little earlier where I used stairs that were like super big. I used 200% size beams. And it left a gap, which I didn't really like, but at the same time I was like, wait a minute, I can kind of wing this because I could just put like fancy schmancy lighting effects under those gaps and then just kind of make it look all epic sounding, like, oh, what's down there, blistering light stuff that'll like kill you and all that. So the idea is, I'm doing the climb and I'm gonna use a series of like pillars or something like that, which now that I think about it, that won't work. It won't work because this shit's too tall. God damn it. Oh no. Yeah, because a beam only gets so tall, right? It only gets to be like this big, and then it's going to go like at most this high. So it would like kind of so it's going to be like a thin, a pretty tight climb. But shit, that's too thin. Actually it's not that bad. That's not so bad. So maybe I'll just start the climb a little bit later anyway. Which totally fucks everything up anyway. Yeah. Stairs. Those who pull it off, freaking props. Now, I do think that these stairs are a bit too small. With like, notice how like the spacing and everything is, and I need like a whole crap ton of stairs just to like go up, not even halfway. So I feel like I can both maybe space them out, but then well, instead of space them out, I'll just make them bigger. I think that's something that I can like try out. So that's just kind of my progress report. What am I building? I don't know quite yet, but the idea is when I complete the climb, like I'm gonna be up there, right? And then surrounding me are gonna be a bunch of like them blood elf statues, looking all goofy, like it's a like, and then that's it. That's all it is. It's just like this whole surrounding, and then up above is like this whole like kind of temple closed off look kind of thing. You can see the maybe I'll have the opening set up so you can see the moon, so it's going to be at kind of an angle or something like that. So it could be cool. That's the idea. That's the idea so far. What I wanted to try to do, I don't think I'll be able to do it because I don't know what kind of decor would work, is if I can do the climb here and then I can see like the statues and all that stuff But I would need to have like some, I don't know, like I guess I could just have the statues here that are kind of like lining the area, and then when I get up top, I need to have like that. I need to have that kind of like loop in or something like that. Yeah, because like this top area here is going to be like all statues and stuff, and that's going to be hard to pull off too. Actually, no, I'll be able to pull out because like they're going to be like here on the outside. Like statues are going to be like here, all lining the outside area, and that should work. Yeah, it's just that they would line out here, and then as it would come closer, then I guess they would be above here. So I don't know if that would work. Maybe, yeah. I think that could work. Yeah. Spell ramps are totally needed item. I don't know how that would work though, Somni. How would that work? Hey, Spiral, connect one, connect the other, and then AI would do it. I don't think that would work right. This is very, very difficult, but I can't see a way to do it because everyone's needs are going to be slightly different, and so you need to have like this whole system behind just making stair shapes and stuff. I don't know. Oh well. And by the way, let me say hi to people, right? What is up to Ravens? You're the first person to say hi. Hey. What's up to Darth and Sonata? What's up to Arcadius and Roxana and Susan Groves? What's up to Faroon, to Dean? Hello to Malvenu and Dorian and Jolly Goodfellow. What's up to Rockets, to Arumus and Minnie and to... Gotta scroll a little bit. Oh, I missed people. Oh no. What's up to Hazelnuts and Savitar and Lala Kraus? What's up to Magister? Hello to just Maribel and Vindazani. Hello to Snedro. Big thanks to Zystar for subscribing. Much appreciated. And to the rest, yeah, the beautiful digital smile on the face are going to be joining us out today. What's up? Hope everyone's doing good. Let me get my list out, because... Let's see. Didn't start anywhere on the staircase, just gave up. Loads of budget and so time consuming. For me, like, the big thing is, what I want to get out of this room is, can I do it? That's mostly it. Can I do this? Am I able to get this kind of room right? And if so, great. And if not, terrible. Okay, so who do we got for today? Today we're going to be looking at Nairobi and Moonzephyr. Looking at Atriana's, Maribel's, and Win Grace's houses. So, awesome stuff to look forward to. I totally forgot to prep and upload on the archive channel. Whoops. I'll make sure to get that out like this afternoon or so. So don't worry, I'll have stuff out. Olympic and stairs, and if you do them well, they make a great impact. Very true. If you do, yeah. If you do them well, that's carrying a lot of weight. So let me continue my little experiment here. Since we have some time, so I think what I'll try to do. Let me start like with this angle, for example. So let me make these. I'll just make these things like hella big. I'll make these things hella big, and then I will try to do. Oh boy. Now the thing is, I need to get. I basically need to move 180 degrees by the time I get to the top. So it's like, how do I math that out? If I do increments of 3, then I'll need like that many. If I do increments of 4, then it's going to be that many. And so what I want to do is just kind of like experiment with how these increments might look. So the two things, I'm using some made-up ass logic here. The two rules I have is I want the separations, I want the way that these stairs are. See, how does this look actually? So if I'm like this and I go 1, then it's going to be like that sort of. No, that's too thin. Let's do like 2. Yeah. So if I do, so I want the separations to be like this. And then I will, I guess, increment it by 3 degrees ish. I gotta go closer, I think, so I can sort of fine tune the thing, and then from there just kind of like bring it together. And then, okay, bro, you gotta move. And then so the rule is 1, 2, so it's gonna look like that, and that kind of works, you know, from like the gap and all that stuff. And then from that, then like this is the shitter. Trying to make sure that we have these separations right. And this, I don't know how to do. It's like we gotta eyeball it every time, and that kind of sucks. So let's start like down here. It's gonna be like this, and then it's gonna increment up like that. So I kind of like, so that seems to kind of works, because if I back up, you can see how there's still no gap. But I do plan on closing this off anyway. Like it's going to be like here, it's going to be like a wall sort of setup. So that could work. And then that's way fewer stairs that I'm using. It's not even a budget question. It's more like as I'm configuring this and I get to like a certain milestone, if I see like one that's like way off, like for example, like this one here, it's like, oh, obviously this is very unrefined, you know, and all that. But as I'm straightening stuff out, if one thing is off, I got to change everything before or after it. And it's like, fuck. So yeah, it kind of sucks. Budget management is an elite skill now. It depends on your approach. Yeah, if you want a big sprawling house and you have to have all these rooms and it's got to have this and it's got to have that, then absolutely. I believe that is I see that as a consequence of doing your layout first. If you do your layout first, it's like, oh man, okay, so here's my floor plan. I'm gonna have this, and this, and blah, 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 and that's how everything's gonna be. Okay, great. Then you start filling things out, because the layout part, that's the easy part, I would say, that you can feel like, okay, I have my layout. It's easy to kind of eyeball that because here we can eyeball it. But then when you start filling things out, then it's like, then you end up like scope creeping yourself without even realizing it. So that's tough. I'm not saying that I don't know if there's like a right or wrong way to do it, but that's kind of the consequence. If you have like your whole layout and then you got to fill it out, then I think you have a much easier time running into a budget issue. If you kind of like wing it, then you risk a sort of inconsistency instead, right? Yeah, so there's that. Maybe one way to go is to have like the shaping done, you know, have the layout, but not necessarily, okay, this room is this room is that, this room is that. Just kind of like leave that up to, leave that up to some improvisation. So there's an easy way to clip beams into each other, but they won't be as slim as you want them, but you can move them as a one in theory. Got it. The whole segmenting of things. I think that would be one way to do stairs. So instead of Blizzard being like, okay, we're gonna figure out some fangled way to just make stairs, figure out a way to, like, let's say, let's pretend you go into edit mode, you go into advanced mode, and then you can just kind of link things together, sort of. I mean, that's something that they talked about already, how you can mass select things and then move stuff around like that. So that would be helpful for like certain uses. But if there's a way to kind of like link things together a bit, or have like this sort of, I guess one thing that I would like is, you know how we have our grid, right? We have the whole grid movement. If I can fine tune it a little bit more, so like if I can make the grid thinner, that would be very helpful for like setting up certain things like, stairs and whatnot, where I want to have a bit more fine movement, but I also want it to be mathematically correct automatically. that would be helpful too. So you judge houses, so I'll stop you there. Good luck with that. Good luck. For me, ignorance is bliss, right? I'll give my feedback on certain things, but yeah, judge it. That's why I'm kind of scared about Friday. Because Mego's like, yeah, you want to judge a thing? I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be great. I'm like, I gotta judge things. I gotta give criteria. Oh shit. Uh-oh. Also, there's just that fun final level equivalents that are high enough to cut down the amount of beams we would need to cut out, but cut down enough so you can climb without getting stuck. You'll notice sometimes, because I almost always walk when I do my visits. Sometimes I'll say, oh, failed the walk check. You know, and it's when 2 beams or whatever I'm climbing is, you know, it's too high, and then I just can't climb it, and then I get that whole jittery kind of thing to it. For me, that's, you know, to me, that's, I call that the walk check. It's like, okay, you at least gotta pass that. If you pass that, then, or if you fail that, let's pretend, if you're doing like a whole RP event or something like that, and you know, you and your buddies are talking and doing a thing, and then all of a sudden, you know, that's a bad. You know, try to avoid that. Haven't tried moving rooms yet. I need to try that. The only thing to really be careful about when moving rooms or things that are very close to like the edge of the room, because it might spill into something else. That's all. And then you're fine. I did a little bit of work on the character select stuff. I feel like the monk stuff is kind of done. Kind of. It could use some refining, maybe some lighting and all that stuff, but I'm pretty happy with how it looks. So let me show you guys real quick. So I'll like kind of like be here-ish. So here is the monk starting thing. Actually, I think that's the angle. Something like that. Yay! The one thing I'm not too fond of is like how the ground looks low poly when with the Heron Dark greens down there. But no, I like how this came together. I was like, okay, let me make those cloud thingies like a little bit pink or something like that. The one thing that's tough is that because I'm only working with so much room in this large room, that's kind of a restriction I made for myself. This bell here, like the perspective check, I'm not too happy with. Like it kind of looks like there's distance, but not enough. You know, there isn't enough to like make it all that obvious. Back here is fine. I think that works out. But then this whole bell thing, not so much. So like I might need to like take it out or something like that. Everything else seems like okay. But I thought of like lowering the greens here to just hide that stuff, because like these big little blotches here, they don't seem to really add much. Or what I can do, okay, actually here's an idea, because I know I made this road here, but maybe I can do this instead. Loamy? No. Heronier. No. Heron Dark. What? Don't tell me I'm out of these. Oh, light blue. I'm like, I know I got like a couple of these. So what if I take this and... so I'll take that, and I'll take that. And then I'll just lower it. Like, with that, okay? Oh, dude, these things keep coming out, man. These things piss me off. Like, with that? No, I kind of like the contrast that I would get. But yeah, these need to sync a little bit too, then. So I think I can do that a little bit. Like there, and then I can bring this down a little bit more. Yeah. Actually, that thing back there is fine. That's not a big deal. Actually, a little bit more. I want this to be a little flush. And then do I do this? Make it higher? Nope. Maybe put boulders in the in-between space. Yeah, but this is the road. And so that's what makes it the problem. Is there texture on the bottom of the light blue? Yeah, let me take these out for now. Good question. No, it's the same thing. But it does sit a little better. So, actually, so what I can do is, it's kind of odd that it has that whole yellow thing to it, right? You see how it has that, like, that yellow thing to it? Can I do something with that? Yeah, so it's like, what if I were to take this and flip this all the way? Like, would that do better? I don't like the yellow throws me off, though. So, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I can play with that a little bit more. The thing is, though, like, this angle here, this is it. Oh, shit, my bad. I gotta sit. Like, this here is the angle. Kind of like this. Yeah, so, like, the Pandarn is here, and then you have, like, a little bit of the waterfall stuff there, and, like, that's it. It is light bloom. I know. Light bloom. God. Maybe I can get another bell there so I can, like, get a little bit more perspective, so then maybe I can do the shot like that instead. I kind of prefer it to be like this, but then it's gonna kind of do weird things with, like, the angling and, like, how the sky is sort of lit up. So I kind of want to obscure that. If the path over the yellow will be covered. Well, not if I flip it, though. If I flip it, then it's flat. And then that's going to be, like, harder. So if I were to take, like, this, you know, flip this bird around. You know, now it's a flat thing. So now it's, like, just, like, the whole thing that goes in. So that would kind of suck. Yeah. I mean, maybe I can have... Maybe I'll have, like, that stuff stay. Here, let's try that. And then sort of like that. Yeah, it doesn't have enough contrast. I still want it to be a road. And then I'm gonna kind of like creep myself, and I'm like, okay, let me just take a whole bunch of leaves, and I'll like throw leaves in there instead. But then I did. Oh, I deleted the wrong thing. God damn it, soul. This is where like the undo button would be like would be useful, but oh, I can fix this. It's not so bad. I can actually be pretty reckless with how I place this. Let's do that. So yeah, bummer. All right. Oh shoot, it's already not. See how time flies when I'm doing housing stuff, man? But at least I gave myself some time to do housing stuff last night. Like, news-wise, this week feels pretty light. I think the only thing would be like, oh, maybe there might be the official announcement of the patch and a release date, but like that's about it. I think the coverage of the patch is well known. Although it's kind of funny, like, you know, ever since Dragonflight too, people have gotten pretty exhausted with the day-to-day, I feel like, with WoW. And by that I mean, seasons feel longer because there's just more stuff that they're packing into these mid patches. And I think for some people that just kind of wears people down. It's like, hey, new patch. Oh, new season yet? No, that's not going to be for another like 4 months, dude. We've only been in this season for like 2 months so far. The people are like, what? So it's kind of the consequence of like there being not even so much like things that you got to do, but just optional things to do. You know, people will be like, oh my god, this is overwhelming, guys. All right, so let's head to number 1. 28. I got the add-on mainly for the lock function because I lost so many things. I did use one add-on to help me with dying stuff a little bit faster. That was about it. That was about it. I'm mostly doing like vanilla things with the yeah, I'm mostly doing vanilla things. Okay, I don't need that, right? I can... Hold on. Is this one called a void for? Okay, actually, let me just send all of my it's all my warbound stuffs. So, oh, just that? Really? Cool. All right. And double check any weird messages. Okay, so this first person is... Okay, so it was Adriana that sent me a message. Cool. What's up, Lillian? Where's my puppy? Where's the puppy? Where's the button? There he is, okay. Oh, wow. How modern. Okay. Yeah, that's the term, brutalist of this thing. I mean, cool for a building or a museum, but for like my house, well, not the cozy thing that I want to you know, invite folks into. I mean, we'll see what's on the inside. All right, folks, this is Nairobi's place. We're over at the edge of Founders, and I want to kind of make that point kind of clear. Like, it's not just the house that has that very modern look. It's also the lead up too, because you have the one path that brings us over, and at the end of the path is this spawn right here. So this is like at least for me, this is total like tech billionaire vibes, which I find, you know, very not Warcraft, but really cool construction regardless. So we go around and, you know, we have like this kind of set number of greens, flower boxes right up front. And, you know, given the large pieces that are being used here, like this is all the budget, you know, it's going into like these big blocky structures that help to shape these things with the most minimal of greens. So what they did here, they just took a couple of bushes, stacked these dudes. And that's pretty smart, actually. So now they have like this sort of like tall fir. I think that's pretty smart, actually. Going across here, you know, we can see how the house is basically skinned, minimal windows. We'll go around, we can see like the whole blockiness of things. You know, some people really like the aesthetic. I mean, it is aesthetically pleasing, but for a house, not so much. I think what did Falco say? It looks good, but it also looks like my eye doctor's office. Yeah, it's kind of it's kind of like that vibe. Let's see what is there anything up top here? Okay, it's just flat up top. So like here's like the sort of view from up here. Yeah. How much does a place like this cost? $6 billion, probably. Let's head inside. They don't fit in our residential area. You know, so my in-laws place is over in Menlo Park, which is a very affluent area of the country. And so you see like this whole mix of like these cabins and these sprawling one-story places, and then you'll see houses like these too. So you have like this very interesting construction styles depending on where you go. Anyway, so as soon as we come in here, okay, this whole door work is very fascinating. At least that's kind of what I'm seeing here. It feels like these are parts of like walls or whatnot that are being clipped through to create shapes. So like check out the framing here. These feel like yeah, these feel like door wall things. That's kind of neat because they're only clipping through like the little studs or whatnot that are sticking out. And so now you have like these interesting frames and shapes that come together to make just kind of like this interesting wall setup. That's kind of cool. Let's turn around here and yeah, okay, just like kind of on the outside, we have this very modern door setup. So it's just a flat structure. I think looks like a bench, and then we have the wall thrown up front, so that way we can have this cool little contrast here. That's very creative because it's so simple with the it's really simple because you have your Belmeth wall panel there, and then they just used the wall, slapped it on, and now you have like these cool shapes to work with. So I like the simplicity and the cleanliness of these decisions here. So really good. This right here, I'm not quite sure what that is exactly. That is it's an upside down market thing. So it has kind of like, here's the shape here that's being used as a very steel countertop. Have our mail, and let's go through this hallway, see what else we got. All right, so we go into this more grand entrance into this stairwell room. You can see kind of like what looks like either modern lights or perhaps speakers. Oh, that'd be so goofy if these are speakers. I'm not sure if they're meant to be speakers, but if they are, okay. Because then we're meant to like listen to like certain music as soon as we come into this spot. That's the story I'm going to tell. You know, we're meant to have like this kind of like audio visual experience as soon as we come in. Unfortunately, you're just left with my voice. So here it is again. We're seeing the use of these doors to, I'm sorry, these doorways to create shaping. I'm guessing that the beams that are up here are made to hide like something else that comes with that door wall shape thing. And they're just like, okay, let me just hide that and put this thing here. Again, very minimalist. We have like this sort of sand garden, but not sand garden. And one rock with which for Rufus to piss next to. On the opposite end here, okay, maybe these aren't speakers, but boy, they seem like speakers to me. Again, we have what is otherwise a pretty bare wall, but then they just added more walls to make these to draw these designs. Again, very cool. Banners on the sides, a little structure right there too. We'll start down here because again, we're going into like this whole modern setup. So we climb up, boop boop boop. We're in this raised floor, and then we sink down into like these rooms here on the side. So kitchen, very modern kitchen over there. We sink down into this living area here. Okay, that's hella clean. So I like what's going on here. Let's see. Let me have a seat really quick. Clean. And here, that's okay. There's some very creative pieces that are being used here. Okay. Haven't seen this done before. That's cool. That's really, really neat. These ethereal prison looking things are being used as like this sort of like light fixture of sorts. But it's also like this cool visual experience as well, even if it's not producing its own light and everything. We have like this whole like chimney setup and a very how shucks, how do I say it? Whatever the case, it's very visually appealing for like a whole fireplace setup. Very, again, very modern with the look of this. Okay, god damn, dude. This is quite a spectacle for sure. And then these bags, I think these are just like flipped over those yeah, selfless pillows, yeah. Yeah. Note how the colors are like also, for the most part are very muted. We're not seeing anything like really like pop out. It's just that the construction of these things, the kit bashing is really good. But yo, that wine. All right, so we enter this other stairwell room, which happens to be the kitchen. So imagine this. So let me zoom out really quick. We have this raised kitchen area. It's meant to have like that sort of vibe. So people are watching things going on, from up here. Down here, though, how is this all set up? So these are like some big structures being used. Again, these, okay, very curious that we're seeing these market bins, which are crafted. These aren't cheap to make. But a lot of them are being used for these structures. There could have been other things that are used. They could have used something like those rugs, those rugs from the promo. But I feel like maybe they wanted to keep this sort of structure. There's some like maybe there's something to the texture that they find pleasing. Yeah, so very interesting with the setup here. Even the countertop too. Notice how this is being done. They're using like mostly beams to set this up. And they could have used so maybe this is a product of like when this was made as well, because this could have been made a while back. Because they could have used those blank easels, those I forgot the name of the blank canvases. That could have been a workable thing too. Regardless, though, we still have like these really, really clean looks, even though we're using like these curved beams. So I guess I'll start here. We have our wall. It's like a built into the wall, this espresso machine. Super modern look, clean lines. Here we have, oh, the doors are being used for that. Okay, I don't want to destroy it. It'd be so easy to mess up door on each side of the thing here. And then, okay, in this case, we have these, the bottom of storage crates that are being used here. Now that's smart. I haven't noticed that being used here. Here we go across. You can see like the soft lighting coming from, well, they embedded into the beams. They're not like showing up, but these are probably little Borealis bottle lamps that are making the lighting there. We have stuff going in these two ovens. So like big kitchen, it has this industrial look to it. And then we have this very intimidating fridge. Dude, you could put bodies in here actually. Dude, is this one of those like kind of American Psycho kind of houses? Oh, dude, that would be a trip. Big old grill right here. It's a large flat surface. Almost enough to put a whole person in. Oh, okay, I'm getting these American Psycho kind of vibes now. Yeah, really cool designs with the light up there. I think those are like different tables that are being used to like frame this whole spot here. That's really neat. Again with the wall stuff. Yeah, so here, very modern looking table, very flat surfaces that are being used with like just the 4 rugs. That's neat. that's it. Yeah, really, really creative stuff that's being done here. Really intentional with all these little pieces here. And even this right here, like these, I guess they just set up cabinets with something like this. Yeah, cool shaping. And I think they float a little bit too. I think that's intentional. Note how we have like these lights too get bashed together. So we have some actual lights, but then we have the cushions that are acting as like the hoods of those. And then we enter this sort of, okay, it's like this whole thing for a sommelier. So like here we go. We're serving stuff and we got tons of product. Tons and tons of product. Holy cow. Yeah, that's neat. That's hella cool. And then notice how we have like this shaping here with these paving stones, you know, to create this neat little pattern. Yeah, that's really good. That's really, really good. Yeah, just, oh, and then the wind chimes are just floating. Okay, that's a little unusual, but oh well. Not the end of the world. Yeah, very neat kitchen. Very, very neat kitchen. And as we go here, I believe we are entering kind of this empty transition, but over here on the side, we have little sparklies coming from somewhere. And then washer dryer. Okay. Feels like a work in progress in this particular spot, but that's okay. Let's pretend we didn't see that. We'll retreat back. Actually, oh god, there's like upstairs areas too. We'll keep a look at the first floor. Let's yeah, complete the first floor look because there's a lot of spectacle here. Gaming and lounging is happening here. We have this oddly lit couch. You know, you can see the fire effects coming from out of here. But then everything here is kit bashed. We have platforms. We have a bench, 2 benches, I think, that are helping to put that together. Again, it's very minimalist, but it has that bit of a lived-in feel to it. I kind of like this here too. I think this is just like a shelf of some sort, right? No, it's a, oh, okay, that's what it is. Okay, so that was definitely worth just having like this structure be a display. But then of course you have like the whole fire going, and we just kind of set that aside for now. But I like that. That's really neat. We got air hockey on one side, we got a pool on the other. And then here, using these Niffin arches, we have these different little couches. Boop. Yeah, very loungy stuff. And then check it out, they're using the single boulders to create like these wall sets. Great contrast here, because you have like these windows being used as like these sort of like light sources, and then like some artsy stuff on the side. That's cool. That's really cool. And then over here, yeah, same stuff on this side, like just some very artsy stuff. Then here is where the real gaming happens, right? Very inventive. Different kinds of cards being used here. These are just tables, but yeah, that's cool. And then know how we have like big old cigar boxes right on the side, hookahs up top. I like the little slant that they have here too for the presentation of things. So like you sort of have a shot like this. That's neat. And through this door, once again, a modern bathroom. Even the toilet, dude. Even the toilet has this certain look to it. But that's really tight. I like the look of this. You know, with the teepee and all that. Like, what structure is this here? This is okay, just a normal crate. That's really good. I mean, that's a coffee cup, but whatever. It's all good. Yeah, everything here just screams like super, super modern look. Not how we have like it's not even like a full vanity. You know, you have it like kind of cut off here, which is intended. Raised bowl. Well, that's just a stone, and I think it's like 2 stones. Yeah, so 1 stone, 2 stones that are being used for the sink. Damn, this is a lot of detail. A lot of thought went into all these pieces. So, like for example, like this wall setup or this fireplace setup. Notice how these are just walls. They're just flipped. They're just flipped over to the side, and then they left. You know, instead of trying to hide that, they just made that into like part of the design. Something that again just feels modern. And then there's like one more artsy thing up there. No, not an artsy thing. That is a pool table set. Out here, the modern gym. Because of course. Yeah, you got your full machine. You got the whole like that's neat. That's neat. Oh, they even have like this sort of design here too. Let's see what's being done here. The corners of bar tables. Huh, interesting. So like here, I'm guessing what they did is take the corners here are being on display. They're made so big so that way the metal studs here on the side that they don't pop out. But yeah, that's what we have. Just a whole bunch of those. Neat. Really good gym stuff too. Yeah, very convincing pieces. Like this is a good one. It has that whole feel of like, oh, it's an adjustable, one of those adjustable dumbbells, which is great for a home gym. That way you don't have like racks and racks and racks. Oh, they even have the row. Okay, that's good. They even have the rowing machine. That's sick. That's really good. So it's like, okay. Oh, and their own custom punching bag. Nice. Like, never mind the punching bag that we get from Brawlers Guild. They just made their own thing. Got a whole TV setup. Very clean. Mirrors on the side. The cycle's great too. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, the cycle thing looks great. But I'm very impressed by the row machine. That's very, very creative. Some really good kit bashing here. And then outside is work in progress. All right. Damn. Still haven't gone upstairs yet either. And over here, we still have like the whole artsy bar kind of vibe. Once again, looks like we have placeholders at least on the left side. But then back here, really good bar setup. Oh, check out the taps. Nice. So as usual, you have like a little bit of personality with each of the levers there, for whatever different thing you're having. Ice chest, snackies, cabinets, and all that. And again, these are using these empty market bins. No, these are crates. Okay, so these happens to be crates. They're hiding the texture with these rugs. All right, that's pretty good. And they also look like they're at an angle too. Oh man, that's a lot of detail. Nice little artsy installation here. And then this is, oh, okay. So these are just like little fence posts being used. It's kind of funny because like, yeah, there are a lot of choices that can be used instead. Like they can use crates and they can be black. Here they wanted to use something like this, but it has like this cool pattern to it too. I feel like most of the decisions here, the design decisions here, are not made out of necessity, but by choice, because they have like certain textures to it. Yeah, really, really good. As for what's back here, is this like a little theater of sorts? It looks like, yeah, it looks like it. Nice. Yeah, so pretty minimal with this setup. Sometimes I'll see like some crazy projectors or whatnot, but no, they did at least have the courtesy of putting little cup holders for our stuff. And then nice, simple, just use the current wall, and that does the job. Yeah, this is great. This is a great, great spot so far. Still haven't gotten upstairs yet. So, okay, that's dangerous. This whole this whole candle setup. Yeah, that's just asking for like torches. See, that's why the couch area thing right there is on fire, because it's super dangerous. Yeah, amazing play so far. All right, so we're going to start going up the stairs now. I want to see what's going on here. All right, so we have this kind of floating stair setup, but it's still a grand climb as we make our way to floor number 2. Okay, so here we have like the whole view of the of this whole installation. That's neat. That's really neat. I like that. All right, so we're gonna go over the kitchen now. So there's the kitchen below, the stairs that lead our way up, and so now we can explore placeholder over there, and looks like perhaps bedroom on this side. Yeah, really neat. I think these are just like actually, what are these? I can't really tell. So these are okay. These are crates, and it looks like it's just using the open part of the crate. Really? So here's the canvas. So I get that. And I guess there's like something. Oh, okay, here we go. I think they're using like this edge here. No, not the edge. It's this here, but it's angled in such a way that I guess, yeah, okay. This it looks like the canvas is being pulled out just a little bit, so that way it doesn't show the lines there. Okay, that's cool. That's hella cool. Yeah, these are some really creative uses of pieces, because it's like, who would have thought to use like, okay, let me just take this window, flip it aside, throw some greens on there, and call it like this whole modern vase kind of thing. Neat. And then we enter what feels like the bedroom. And again, you know, we have super clean modern looks. I haven't been taking screenshots. What am I doing? Okay, even this is, yeah. I'm just really impressed by the creativity from this creator. Because even like the paintings here, or like the artwork installations, are like so cool. This bed, by the way, is huge because maybe they have kids and all that. Now, it's actually a very stuffed bed too. So like, what is this structure? This structure happens to be, okay, that's one rug, and then curtains. They're just like flipped over. So if I hop on here, yeah. Okay. So aesthetically, it looks like this, which is awesome. Functionally, it's goofy as heck, because it's like, yay, look at that. That's hella funny. That's hella funny. Like a waterbed sort of feel. But the aesthetics are on point. Really good. And then like this right here happens to be, oh, that's just an upside down case. Wouldn't have thought of that. Definitely wouldn't have thought of that as a, well, pretty large nightstand. That's really big, but still hella cool. Anything through here? No, it doesn't look like it. Double check in. No, nothing, just walls. Oh, and then you have like the whole see-through kind of fireplace spot back there too. Oh, that's good. Now this looks like a crazy hotel room of sorts when you go into this room. There's your closet. You have your sliding style door. That's sick. That's good. That's hella good. Yeah. Oh man. And then through here, the bathroom. Again, very modern bathroom look. Yeah, dude, this is crazy. This is a crazy spot. Oh, they even have like, well, okay, well, it's not bottled water or whatnot, but at first I thought they kit batch like something else to make like, you know, little beverage or whatnot when you're having your bath. Like the whole spot here, skinned really tightly with the whites, and then here, like, oh, these are just those are just those upside down rugs. But in this case, they created like a mirror setup, you know, the illusion of a mirror. That's really good. And I believe this is just rock. Yeah, that's just rock. Back there. Awesome contrasts here. You got your big old waterfall shower, little designs, your knobs and doohickeys, and I don't know, control your bath with your Bluetooth or something like that. What are those are logs. Those are logs from the Corduals, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they're being used as this sort of like lantern. That's neat. That's really neat. Let's see, I have this towel set up here. What are these? They just use tubs. 3 tubs to make extended towels. Good God. Yeah, every inch here feels like so intentional. Just wow. Oh, and here's our collection of stuff. Ah. So here's like the modern WoW player's loot room. All right. Oh, awesome. They even have like little pretend placards and whatnot. Like that's gonna come in. That's gonna be a thing in the upcoming patch. So you can trust that they'll replace those with with those little the little signage there. Nice work here. Yeah, really cool vibe. And then we go into this next spot. Oh, dude. Hey, there's the boss. Hey. And then we have okay. Oh, dude. So it's not an outdoor room, but the perspective here is just oh man, I haven't seen one this well done before. Damn. So I'm gonna stop like right here and do like the perspective check. So, I can see like the wall paneling here, but boy, they did a fantastic job of setting up the illusion here. So you can see like the little wisps of smoke coming from the food. It has the whole wave vibe there. Oh man. Oh wow. Just wow. Great illusion from this vantage point. Yeah. So let's break the illusion. So it's like here's the boss's desk, and check out their executive chair. Oh, that is decked. Chair on top of chair on top of looks like another chair. Damn. Laptop is currently closed. They put it on private because I guess they don't want us to see like their future plans and all that. And even from here, even from different angles, you have like a pretty good view. Yeah. Oh, that's sick. Mm. So here in their office, they're like, here you are, we're chilling, or at least we're having like important business, whatnot. Shots of wine and whatnot over there. Yeah, great executive room. And then the lamp work here too. One filigree, but then they went through all the trouble of connecting all these little string lights together to get the illumination in. Oh, man. Yeah, this place is dope. Absolutely dope. And it has that proper vibe too. Again, I'm getting those American Psycho vibes, because we go through like the trophy room and then you get to the boss's office. You know what I mean? So it has this sort of like power move kind of vibe to it. It's like, dude, check out, this is a reminder of how awesome I am. And then you're gonna sit down with me. You walk right through, you get the angles, and there they are staring off into the distance. And what are they looking at? The future, right? And I think there's like more rooms on the other end too. Just damn. The background walls in the perspective shot, they're angled. What are they using for the back walls? Those look like here. I'm pretty sure And we're not really obscured by anything. I'm pretty sure those are big fountain things. Okay, that's the sun. Okay, those are rugs. Actually, no, it's just rugs for the paneling there. Yeah. So here, they're angled in such a way that all the clipping is mostly like straight lines. They're not worried about the curvature here. And we are able to get like that very clean look. It doesn't seem that there are like some lights being used here. Like I can see like the little hints of a candle here and there to give us some texture. But otherwise, the illusion is like we have like this angle set up here. You can see how it's looking like that to create that sort of depth. Yeah, really good. All right, so past my placeholder room. We're going across. Okay, that's the front. And then this way, new stuff. All right. So we have this crazy installation right here. And again, we're seeing a lot of these wall shapes once again. Oh, and it's another bedroom. Ah, so there are 2 bedrooms here. Interesting. So one bedroom is for when they're by themselves. The other is when they invite a guest or a friend. You know what I mean? This is neat. This has this cool modern look to it. And I think there's like a couple things going on here. So like there's like the one lamp there, but I feel like what's making this long other structures, like there's like one of those wells. I think I see it floating. There it is. Yeah. So you have 2 of these that are embedded inside. So, you know, from back here, it's harder to tell. It's harder to notice. But then here you can kind of see it, and it gives off the illusion of this being like this sort of like LED fixture. The light is being produced from these pitchforks, from these sticks or whatever. And you have like that really elegant design. Just crazy. Yeah, and these wall designs are like lining across the entire spot. This whole overhead L shape kind of brings it all together. It almost makes the bed look a little bit too small, but that's okay. And then over here, oh, dude, okay, here's another crazy shot. So I'm going to stop right here. Oh, that's good. Ooh, that's good. Wow. Big wow. So another awesome looking modern shower and bathroom and everything. Hot tub on the sides. Dude, this place just drips, man. Notice how we're going up like, notice how we have those stones under here? Heated floors. Basically is what we have here. These heated floors, so, you know, we don't get too cold as we're up here. And then from this, I don't recall what decor that is, but you just have a number of these running across to give that whole wave kind of vibe. Now, of course, back to the whole American Psycho thing, you know, it's like you can kind of see like, oh, they're like spirits or like faces and whatnot. It's almost like outside is the mall or something like that. And this is just like the view. This is Sylvanas' place, right? And she just made herself like this whole modern castle vibe place. Great work though, with the lighting setup and everything, because you have like that really cool horizon line, but it's just like the shadows that are being produced from the collision of decor there, but it makes for a cool horizon as well. So I think they angled that up a little bit to create that sort of line. That's how it kind of looks here. Yeah. This is one of those, good God. Yeah, so there's the book. Yeah. And that's where that stuff is coming from. And then there's going to be like another book somewhere there. So hard to hide, but then from this shot, oh boy. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy. This whole place was just ugh. Really good. Notice how we have like the greenhouse spot here. We're just using that window spot. So, very meticulous work here again. So they embiggen the greenhouse, use it as the window, but then the back side of it is back there behind the wall. So they use the carpets or the wall or whatever to obscure the other end of the greenhouse. So that way, we can just have this being used as the window, and like that's it. Yeah, this is easily like the most impressive modern style house that I've seen because it's been consistent the entire way through. For one thing, there are no twists, there are no hidden rooms. From here, you have a little bit of Warcraft flavor with some of the decor that's being used as purposeful like Warcraft decor. But otherwise, the kinds of delivery and the style that's being used here, you know, it drips with this modern vibe to it, and it comes off so well. Like it feels like an episode of Westworld or something like that we're watching, and you're seeing like nothing but like super modern looking designs and shapes here. Anything that looks like it has a curve is clearly just like a some sort of collection of some sort. Yeah, so absolutely stunning, stunning build. Thanks for showing us your place. Damn. Damn, 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 damn. Yeah, even Rufus is like, oh, this place is dope. All right. Let's head to number 2. 51. All right. Or if it's based on a real life house, it could be. I'd be like, wow, for a WoW player, you live it up for sure. But yeah, there are certain styles here. Yeah, it feels like the observations here gotta have like some sort of inspiration there. All right. Let's see, 17 minutes until the thing. I think I'm good. All right. All right, folks. This is Star's play. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's not. Let me start that again. All right, folks. This is Moonsepper's place. I got it right this time. We're over on Founders. We're presented immediately with the skinned house from the shop, and it feels like they did some extra work to it. I feel like there's like more trees than normal. So a lot of the work that's being done here, you notice how we have the stones that lead up and around the spots. So it's very dense. Like here's the lot, but very, very pretty because it's all filled out. So let's go back to first. Let's go back, zoom in some and get this kind of like from the ground kind of POV. Yeah, some great shots as we're leading up to this. We'll go through, pass by the greens, on the stones. We'll let the greens and the stones kind of like path their way through. There's the boss right there. It's like, the door's right there. If you want to just chill, man, it's all good. It is all good. All right, so we go through paving stones, and then we'll do the climb. Let's see how things are looking. Usually this only needs like a quick jog to see if there's like any additional decor being added. And in this case, yeah, they did. Place to eat, hang out. Oh, very filled out too. I'd say this is the most filled out of this style house that I've seen because they set up whole wine racks. Things are going. We're enjoying some cheeses and fruitsies and wine and everything. All right. Oh, shoot. And right up here, flight point. And they got their drinks, they got their foods, and they're good to go. Yeah, again, like this is one of the more filled out houses of this style that I've seen, at least the interior. Of course, having this dense of an exterior out here, it mostly means that you that that's where most of the budget went to those particular spots. Because you can see like back here, things are looking a little bit bare, but this is kind of how it goes. Contrast that later on, we're going to get another up to 100 budgets on the outside. It's going to come pretty soon once the next patch comes out. So let's make our way around and we will head inside. Boop. Game didn't say I needed subscription when I bought it. Maybe it'll be free someday. 6 months of saving up to get the $100 version. $100? Oh, that's a lot. Yeah, Piotr. Like, there's different versions you can get too. So, what's the regular version? 40 or $50, something like that. Yeah, 50. Okay. How to level 36 paladin. Stranglethorn. Do characters get deleted if you don't play? No, your characters never get deleted. You if you played in 2004, then you stop and you come back, 20 something years later, still there. Their level's going to be different. That's for sure. Like if you were level 50 back then, you're probably like level 12 now or something like that. Something crazy. Anyway. Yeah, names will probably be different. All right. Let's not distract ourselves too much, though. Let's see. The notes say 2 secret rooms upstairs. All right. So as soon as we go in, again, just like how we saw on the outside, we're getting really strong naturey vibes. Not super strong, like we're not going into a sudden forest, but we have this nice fusion of nature and like livable space. So someone like me who's like, okay, I got allergies and all that stuff, like let me just kind of like scooch away a little bit. But you have like this cool natural look. Now, as soon as we come in, though, we're invited to lay down our arms, kick off our shoes, think about what's going on in Gilneas, and we're invited right in. So we have these stairs that are being set up in this stairwell room. We're going up what I believe are like wall shelves or benches, up. And that's going to lead us somewhere. But let's explore the downstairs area first. Yeah, so again, we have like a pretty clear indicator as to what sort of vibe to expect. Again, really strong Kaldorei vibes with these deep purples and browns. Lots of elven stuff we should expect. Miss Murgle says hi. What's up? We've got this great flower box right in the middle. And this climb up. Some styles of home, they'll do like you rise, you go up and then you dip down into like the sitting spot. Sometimes you rise up. I'm only pointing out that sometimes there's that distinction. Sometimes that's meant to be like a sort of expression. Like, oh, I'm coming down to this, or I'm climbing up to this. Let's go around here. Lots of use of like old booksies, which is cool. Because you're having like this sort of like consistent theme throughout the room in this sort of like library sort of sitting spot. And then we enter the kitchen, very spacious. I'm noting that we have like this whole magical floating snack setup, or maybe it's meant to be an attachment actually. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's meant to be an attachment to this wall piece over here. Well, let's look at the kitchen first. So we go through. What do we got? We got our coffees. I like the contrast here. We have like this kind of lighter contrast with the, we have the lighter wood, but then we have that darker paint right there. Big hot grills that are up here. Almost intimidating with the chains that are right there. There is another Miss Murgle. Hi. How you doing? Dishes are going, things are being used. It has this nice, not overly used and not overly lived in feel, but place that is alive. and there's like activity going on. Things are being drunk and eaten and what have you. Oh, this is kind of unique because you have like this whole this kind of counter setup here. You know, for those who are like, okay, we're not eating at like the big table, but we're gonna be here. We're just gonna like just kind of chill. Someone's gonna bring us some food or snacks or whatnot, or it's like kind of a serving table. You know, because this area here doubles up as a pantry. So it's like, okay, I'm cooking, I'm doing stuff. All right, let me put some stuff out. I just kind of reach over and like drop stuff in, so that way people can start eating, or they can grab it and serve it to other folks, or they can put it here too, where like all the snacks and wine and other drinks are. All right. So we go through this kitchen area. Hey. And into, sudden bedroom. All right. So we hit up the bedroom. There's a door leading somewhere. Now in this spot, we have this very interesting fireplace set up. Miss Murgle's right there on the other side saying, hey, what's up? And this cool kit bashed fireplace. Beams, fuel and walls right behind it. Looks like Stormar fences right up here. But also, interesting choice of fire to be used there. Here's our Caldroy bed. And now we have like this very, this kind of modern look of a kit bashed wall cabinet. You know, they wanted something that felt flush, a bit more flush against the wall. So we just have like some beamwork, what looks like canvas paintings up there. Very expensive choice of platform, by the way, you know, for the shelf work here. Canvas paint, you know, blank canvases, and then you have additional beams for like your big drawers. Those are very big drawers. Like, what do you have in there? A lot of stuff. Blankets usually, because of course you're gonna have blankets next to your bed, or bodies, you know. And I'm gonna go with blankets so far. Haven't seen no evidence of violence yet. You know, Miss Murgle is just kind of like intently staring at the. Oh, you know what? Maybe there is something going on. Because here's Miss Murgle, just keeping an eye out on the bed. Like it's like here's the shot. Let me see if I can pull it off, because it's kind of creepy looking. There we go. There she is, Miss Murgle. And she's waiting for you to go to bed. And as soon as you do, you get smothered and you get shoved into those drawers right there. Don't be fooled by these eyes, yo. Those eyes are full of like evil and stuff. And that's why she's chilling next to the whole fell fireplace. Some insidious work could be happening here. But then here's our hero, Reptar. He's here to keep her in check, right? Reptar's like, I got my eye on you. And then she's like, well, I got my eye on that and you, because that's how my eyes are shaped. And Reptar's like, shut up, dude. I'm still watching you, right? But who's watching Reptar? I don't know. Now we enter this big old bathroom. Again, very, very spacious. We got drapes to provide us like the, you know, bit of a semblance of privacy here. You know, we can do our washing off here. Our big rinse right up top. Any bathtub right here? Bathtub? Yes, no? No bathtub. It's all good. Not every place needs a bathtub. All right, but then we do have our vanity. Gotta have that. Product, and we're good to go. Oh, what is this right here? That looks like a platform. But it's leading somewhere. And then that's another platform. And that's another platform. Actually, no, that's the clipping of another. Oh, I think they just want to close this off. Okay, that's probably it. Okay. Nice, easy toilet work. Shapes are all we need. It's all good. All the functionality that's required. And again, very spacious too. So let's retreat back away from the dueling minds. Great flower work out here, by the way. Lots of different colors there. I would only advise, like, if you want. Now, this would be kind of hard because here we have like the walls. You know, there's not too much between us. Maybe like tilting these like just a little bit to make it feel like the trellises are like catching, the greens would be very helpful. Or maybe Blizzard bugged it out and maybe they're all straight now, for all we know. Because we do see greens being dotted along the house too. So just a little bit of feedback. So we went through here, and I think we can retreat back some. Because I know that there's a place that, yeah. So we're going to do the climb now. Let's move it. Notice how bright the spot is. So we have like the deep Belamet colors, but we also have like these bright elven windows right in our face. You know, so we have like this hue of light blue coming at us as we do the climb. And as we get here, okay, we have 4 options at every corner. So we'll go in order. All of a sudden we enter a Stormwind sort of vibe. Or is it? Because we have a lot of earthen vibes too. You know, from the windows to the sconces to the bed itself. But we do have a puppy here. Hey, puppy's hanging out, chilling. Any Murgles staring back at him? No. None that I can see so far. But this does appear to be like a, you know, sort of a private space. Big old rug. Holy hell. And it seems to be a hunter's room. You know, we can see like the table there, that body, and through this secret shelf. Wow. Okay, actually, I'm gonna retreat back a little bit first. Yeah, I want to see what's through here. This might be a bathroom of sorts, so I just wanted to double check. Yep. Yeah, the folks that live here, they've got like fantastic bathroom setups. Okay, that's very intimidating too. It's like, okay. I can do several things here actually. I can read, hang out. This is definitely a hangout room. I can read, I can hang out. I can bathe. Although I don't know if this is actual bath. Now that I think about it, this might be just be like some sort of like a purifying spot. Because otherwise, we have a place for animals. We have a place for more animals. So we got more than one puppy. And we got this very interesting little tree setup. Hostas and filigree lights make up this very interesting shape. That's neat. Haven't seen anything like that before. We cut across. And let's see what's here. Okay, we're sprawling now because we're going to like all sorts of different spaces. Because we have, okay, I'm directed to the aquarium first. I gotta look here. Because I saw the lobster that's just kind of floating on its own car. So here it is. So lobster dude, that's not a plate. That's like their ride. You know, so they just grab their gear, strap in, and then just, you know, it's like it's the freaking Jetsons. All right, that's how I'm looking at this. So really interesting aquarium set up here. Very greened out too. You know, so it has the feeling of, it's not like okay, let me just put out some stuff, a little treasure chest here and whatnot. No, this almost looks like it's a portal to like the bottom of the ocean or whatnot. And here, this is where ocean society is, and you know who's running the show? Freaking the lobster Jetson dude. Nice. Place, but otherwise, it's a place to sit, smoke, drink, hang out. I can't help but say, you know, we're seeing like rooms that are not random, but then we just have like this big spread of rooms that are speaking like different things. You know, the theme, it's not super consistent, but this does loop us around, so I can't be mad at that because it's just a series of rooms to like, hey, let's just hang out, right? Nothing wrong with that. But now I want to go through the secret spot, because secret spot takes us to this octagonal room being managed by a sassy dragon. She's like, hurry up and get out. Now, this place has very strong Pandoran vibes. You know, it's not just sassy dragon. but it's also, you know, the deep reds, and of course we have like other things like the Pandaran cherry trees that are next to us, more cherry trees, and then of course this very strong Pandaran tavern vibe. This looks really good. I like this because here, like, notice how we have like the pantry shelf here, but then they also created more shelving here using these elven curved tables, simple shelves right up the that are flanking the middle. I think those are like rugs, probably, right? Yeah, rugs to help close off the space, give it a very consistent color. But funny enough, none of the Pandoran green that you usually see, like you usually see like this complementary jade color, which isn't super necessary because here we have a lot of like the other shaping that helps bring it all together. Pandoran chairs, Pandoran tables, and things like that. So, okay, there is a splash. There is a splash of green right over there. My bad. All right. So cool tavern setup though. I like that. It's not too crazy. You know, it's very, very clean with the setup. So I like that. This here too. We got like this nice pleasant climb. We're traveling through the water, you know, this kind of watery area. We did down a bit and we resumed the adventure. Sticking and yeah, here again, sticking to the Pandoran vibe one more time. So like as a Pandoran wing, very, very effective with what's being portrayed here. So I really like how these glows come together with the flanking lights and everything. Terrible to actually sleep in until you like turn off all the lights and everything. Um, but from a just presentation standpoint, looks great. Jade statues, big shell. I'm sorry, big drawers once again. Any Miss Murgle to keep an eye out for? Nah. We're good, Rufus? We're good. Okay. Yeah, so we're fine here. And then we have like this also. Okay, so it's one part bedroom, but one part, you know, space to invite many folks. Two folks, more folks. What might be going on in this small, tight space that's made for a lot of people? Snacking, telling cool stories, maybe talking smack about each other's DPS and all that. So that would work out just great. All right, so as we return through, we'll go ahead and go across. Actually, I gotta pause. All right, so we'll go back across. We're gonna leave this whole kind of so it's a secret Pandoran spot. Hmm. Now, is there a story that makes it a secret spot for Pandoran? I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with that Miss Murgle. Maybe they're like hiding out, something like that. All right, so we've explored. Um, okay, we went through these two areas because this kind of like wound through. That also included the Pandoran wing. So now we're going this way through this teal and gold trimmed door. Interesting. Interesting color setup. I like it. It actually kind of looks nice. Now, right through here, I'm okay. I'm directed to this book. I'm not very familiar with this book. This book is loud. Why is it exploding like that? Yeah, that's unusual. Hmm. I mean, it seems to be floating. It's enchanted. It sure is. Like, holy moly. Yeah, I just never knew that it had all that all that going out. All right. So enchanted book room, plus library, plus smoking spot. You know, it's like hang out over here. Yeah, so big spot to sit in, have a couple smokes, read some books, try to read if possible. All right, so and then what's through here? Any other secrets is what we're looking for. Although in this room, I shouldn't expect any secrets. This place seems to be already like carved out. So I'll leave it as a mess there, just so I remember where I'm at. So we go through this room, you know, library spots, and then things shift really hard. Boom. You know, it's almost like we're portaled through into this blood elf spot, into this blood elf hallway. You know, really bright, very, very in character. And then now we shift, okay, not exactly shift, but now we head outside into this sort of like profession spot. This comes off really well. Big spots. Has that whole busy feel. You can imagine like dozens of folks like coming through here, getting stuff done, hopping on for the job. Blacksmithing area looks great because not only do we have like things in progress, but we have that kind of feel of like finished work and all that. And it's like this whole deck, this whole like kind of like because we're upstairs, mind you, you know, and so this whole upper landing is a spot for profession work. Here we have like this crazy contrast of the white and darks, and then this here, I think these are just like rugs that are making the solid shape, right? Yeah, the doormats. Yeah, very clean look for what is basically not a stove, but a whole kind of like a chemistry table sort of thing. Across the way, drinks. Got to run over here real quick. So check out the kitchen setup. So they also have this kind of grill, but instead of chemistry stuff, good old cooking. We got certain brews going on, draconic stuff, orc stuff, human stuff, and then big stuff. Okay, that's a roaster. But no, actually, no, that's a Pandaran, like kind of a roaster or brew, you think. That's like the real stuff right there. I would want to try the dragon stuff. Because what would make a dragon drunk? It's got to be like insane, right? Yeah, awesome pantry work that's being done out here. Door to nowhere, got it. And then what's through here? Oh no, actually no, this is more like hunting stuff. Yeah, so I can't be too like, oh, okay, I can be, but you know, in this case, leatherworking stuff. You know, so if anything, they're going to use that guy to like make cool things, like hats. So imagine that being a hat. That'd be gruesome sounding, actually, but you know what I mean. So what do? They do skinning and leatherworking. We got alchemy stuff. We've got cooking, blacksmithing. No enchanting, no tailoring and stuff. Like that's for sissies. I'm just kidding. But it speaks to the player's career. Great work on the illusion, by the way. You know, because this has a very, very filled out vibe to it. You know, huge structure that pretty much encompasses the entire skybox room. Yeah, there's like no mistaking it. There are pretty much no gaps being left. So great work on that. I am thrown off. It's because it's like blood elf. Yeah. And then we leave it real quick. Bye. Right. So I'm a little amused by that. And then I think there is one more door to go through, which happens to be open. Did I go through already? No, this is where the boss is. Oh, check it out. We got a sweet greenhouse out there. But yeah, there's the boss. Hey. And we have this sort of transition hot tub sort of dealie. So here I am. I'm chilling. Okay, Rufus is too. I'm chilling. And people are like walking by. You're like, yo, what's up? Have a good time out there. Okay, Rufus is like, okay, it's a bit warm in there. I'm good. Yeah, cool transition spot. But what's through here? Dun dun dun. Ah, where do I go first though? I think I want to go check out the outdoor spot here first. For all I know, that might be like Narnia. There might be a bajillion things back there. But let's come out through here. Now, this spot, you notice, I'm going to guess, we're running into some budget limits here. no illusion is being attempted in this spot. So work in progress. But the greenhouse, ooh, that's bright. Now remember, the nature of the greenhouse, or the nature of these windows, you have lighting that shoots out up front, but also behind it. So everything that's inside here, super duper bright. You can tell here. It's hard to find shadows in this spot. But yeah, the place is filled out, has all the things that you would hope for. Farming tools, dirts, flowers, one gnome there to kind of like bless the spot. And also, and I guess this is a popular thing, inside the greenhouse, you also have a place to paint. It would kind of throw people off if they're out here painting because the brightness and all that. It's like, okay, am I really painting things like with the right colors that I want because it's so bright out here? Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, it's one part greenhouse, one part artist area. See some of their finished work and everything. Yeah, really pretty setup. Yeah, great stuff with the paint cans too. Very, the colors pop. They better pop. The paint cans, right? But now we got mysterious door over there. And through the mysterious door was another mysterious door. And then the unknown. So we'll grab some snacks, have a quick drink. We resume the Calderai vibes. Now how we have some Kirin Tor stuff there going on as well. Kind of some foreshadowing, perhaps. Skull. More foreshadowing. And we enter the mad scientist. See, I told you there was something with the Murgles, yo. There is something to them. And we're finding out. Now, this is the Green Murgle faction, right? Oh, and then, they're experimenting on the other ones. Oh, snap. So I think we've uncovered a sort of conspiracy. Now, to my knowledge, I don't think we ran into any green Murgles out there, but we have seen, I do remember seeing a white one. I do remember seeing a purple one. So I think these Murgles are running the show. The greens run the show because they're foul, I guess. And they're sending out these manufactured Murgles to like cause mischief, right? See, I think that's what we got going on out here. Yeah, they're like maybe like stealing stuff and getting supplies and they're working stuff. We can see like the tubing leads from one thing to another. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they're manufacturing Murgles. Insidious. Some diabolical stuff going. See, this one's like ready to deploy. As soon as the other one downstairs fails and that Reptar gets them, they're just going to send another one out. That's the deal. So we're on to them. Beware, dudes. And I think we've seen the place. Yeah, so this place was fun. I think I saw the boss of the house and I'm like, oh man, I'm following up on this other, amazing visit that we just had. No. Not even. No, this place is cool. Obviously, there are differences in the amount of like in the amount of like detailing work and stuff that people will put into their places, but I never want to take away someone's someone's efforts at putting stuff together. I'll give my feedback and all that, but otherwise, things like this, no, these are great. These are great expressions of what folks want to put together. Like they want to put together a whole bunch of like hangout spots. Cool, do that. And then from that, as you're building these things and putting them together, you start teaching yourself stuff. You start to figure out methods and you start to figure out things that you like and don't like. Hey, how does this decor look? What happens if I paint this, if I paint these studs like this color and then paint these other studs this other color? What happens? That's the whole experimentation. That's the whole joy of housing, is that you try out different things and from there you discover stuff. And if you feel proud enough that you want to show it off for folks, hey, definitely show it to folks because that's a ton of fun. So yeah, thanks for showing me stuff. And that happened right on time. So thanks to Talius and Nevitel for bringing folks over. Hey, it's Soul. And as usual, we're doing housing visits. We're checking out the cool stuff that folks are making. But also, I might be interrupting stream for a little bit because, or I'm interrupting the visits for a little bit because there is an announcement of the patch. I don't know if I'm going to whip something together. We'll see what my brain decides to do. All right. Oh, someone was asking about the queues too. They're already closed. They closed in about 40 minutes. It's fast these days. It's very, very fast. People apparently like what I do. All right. Hear ye, hear ye. The Midnight Revelations content update goes live June 16th. That is the week after my birthday. Hey! Take the next step in thwarting the forces of the Void. Hunt down their leaders in 2 new areas and uncover new sources of power. Players also face a new single boss raid in Sporefall, and Turbulent Timeways returns with the Dragonflight dungeons with a new slate of rewards. I don't know if I'm gonna skim through. I'll go ahead and read through stuff. This doesn't seem like so bad. So this is gonna be one of those kinds of blog reads, folks. So strap in. Travel to Val and Nagtal to quell leaders of the Void. Facing the forces of the Void and Void assaults and ritual sites isn't enough to stop their machinations. To cut the threat off at its source, you'll need to hunt down the leaders behind those brutal attacks on Azeroth. Track them through a portal in Voidstorm, leading to 2 new locations, Val and Nighttown. So, surprise, surprise, the whole Zeltad thing and all that, it ain't done. Now, we've seen these places before. We've seen versions of like these worlds as we were doing like some Legion stuff late in that expansion, and we visited like little pockets of these worlds, and now we're going to see like more fleshed out versions. The portal to these worlds is unstable and switches destinations every week, bringing a rotating set of challenges and experiences. Players can undertake world quests, defeat rares, take part in events, and ultimately have a showdown with the leaders as world bosses. The word showdown has been thrown around a lot, so I don't quite get it myself. But basically, and it looks like this is a change from what was initially announced. It's going to be every week we rotate to a new zone. So there's going to be like new stuff to collect, bosses to farm, and what have you. So basically, more place for violence, if you want, if that floats your boat. We're going to get some player power, which I talked about in an earlier weekly. I'm not very impressed by it with the numbers, but oh well. Join Magister Umbric and Grand Magister Ramith on a mission to reconfigure and restore the Sunstrider Omnium. This ancient elven relic was originally created by Deathmar Sunstrider to study and observe the various schools of magic and to serve as an academic repository. After years of silence, the Sunstrider Omnium has now reawakened, unsettling the Magisters and sowing disarray among them. Once unlocked, you'll be entrusted with the Omnium Folio, a runic ledger containing powerful runes of power you can use in battle. Continue taking part in the weekly activities to imbue more runes, customizing these initial runes and unlocking their maximum potential to aid you in the fights against the Void. It's pretty passive with the way that it functions. I'd say the biggest benefit that you get from this is some story. I ain't mad at that. So you're gonna get some story about elven stuff, magical things. There were some like nice little, not reveals, but there's some nice little cameos from characters as you're doing this quest line. So that part was kind of neat. One of the big things that will be coming from this upcoming patch is a raid. We're going to get a mid raid. Actually, not even a mid raid. It's more like the last third of the season raid. Introducing a new single boss raid located in Herondar. You'll face the fungal giant Rotmire in Raid Finder, Normal, Heroic, and Mythic difficulties. Players can also undertake Mythic difficulty in flexible groups of 15 to 25 players. You'll earn a variety of rewards, including the Luminous Spore Glider mount. Now it's going to be a place to flex some of that new power that we'll be gaining, which hopefully will mean like a little something or other. It'll be a chance for me to, for us to actually try out Mythic content, you know, because my guild doesn't really do that sort of stuff. And then here is the mount that we can get. Yay. And there's like some decent gear that you get as well. It's like super upgraded. It's pretty strong. Go lore walking with the Loa. So more lore walking stuff is happening. Experience the lore of the Loa with assistant lore walker Lily. You'll dive deeper into the stories of the Zandalari, the Chakari, the Gurabashi, and Dark Spear trolls. we're about to enter like this really kind of troll heavy lore setup in 12.1. That's the vibe that that definitely seems to be coming in. So troll fans, yay. There's going to be a new mini activity. Help Loa Speaker Breck hatch Janeli's new eggs. With the return of this Loa comes a return to past traditions. She's ready to bring a new clutch of eggs into the world, but Loa Speaker Breck requires assistance with the ceremony and with ensuring all the Loa's young are released safely from their eggs. Be a part of welcoming the first of her offspring and protecting them as they take their first steps. I don't know if that's been tested on the PTR yet. I usually don't really look at that sort of stuff, but this has the whole vibe of the whole dragon hatchling thing that was happening during Dragonflight, and I thought that was fun. All right, run, leap, and cheer during the Dark Spirit Dash micro holiday on June 27th. So similar to the running of the gnomes, they are doing the running of the trolls. So join the Dark Spirit Trolls and their Zandalar allies as a race from Echo Isles to Silvermoon City for an in-game event inspired by the running of the trolls community events. Prepare to run, leap, and spread rainbow cheer along the routes. So it's been a typical community thing that they've been doing. They're just folding it into a micro holiday if you want to join in for realsy. And another big one, Turbulent Timeways comes back 2 weeks after the patch. So it's going to come June 30th. And then here is the schedule of how that's going to work. So we're going to get 6 weeks of Turbulent Timeways, starting with Dragonflight, ending with Dragonflight, but then we're also going to have BFA, Shadowlands, vanilla stuff, and then TBC. So we're not going to go through like the entire spread as what we would sometimes expect because, you know, we just don't have enough expansions. And then there's going to be, of course, a whole bunch of transmog to pick up. So there's time walking going on right now if you want to start farming up for badges. And then we have lore stuff. So there's lore walking stuff, and then there's going to be actual story content that will lead us into 12.1. When the Heron call for a special gathering, Zul'Jin attends as the Imani representative, only to be drawn into an ancient mystery surrounding the legacy of the Imani trolls. Join him and his uncle Kinduru on their journey of discovery to uncover the truth. That sounds very wholesome. I haven't done this, by the way, but yeah, it sounds wholesome so far. And then there's like other stuff. And then there's all the housing stuff that I talked about. There's a video that I put out just the other day that talks about all the different decor and housing changes that are going to be coming with just this mid patch. And hopefully we'll get more with 12.1. But this is what we got happening in just, what, like 2 weeks or so. So strap in, get ready. Is there anything for you to prepare for? Short answer is no, there isn't really. There are things that you can start farming for a little bit early. Like if you want to really slam Void Assault and ritual sites, you can get those dark particles, and those can be used to buy gearboxes. Oh, they're just cosmetic gearboxes, but you can buy gearboxes that you can't currently get now. So if you want to start farming early, you can. If not, it's all good. Do whatever you like. And that's it. So I'll see you guys for the next thing. Leave a comment, of course, and stay safe, stay healthy, stay breezy. Yeah, we'll put something out. We'll put something out real quick. You guys are fine with that, right? Of course. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. Oh. So I appreciate the patience. I'm between visits, right? Like I didn't. Yeah, I finished one. I finished the second one for the day, and we got 3 more, so we good. When does housing group sign up open? It opens Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Pacific. And just an FYI, the queue filled up 40 minutes after it opened. So you want to bookmark that page if you are eager to sign up. Yeah. Where's my things? Here's my things. Carpet's the best piece that's coming out. No, Carpet's sick. Carpet's very cool. One of my favorites, the Tusk. I think the Tusk is going to be a big hit. I think a lot of folks are going to be using that for, you know, to make like cool stuff. I'm very flattered. I'm very humbled that the queue for visits fills up as fast as it does. Like I'm just looking at cool stuff and be like, oh my god, look at this! This is awesome. And people are, a lot of folks, they are interested in having us check out their place. So I really appreciate that. All right. Have good feedback. You notice all the details that people put into their build. I try. Like it's yeah, I remember when I first started, it felt not easier, but I was able to go through a lot more places because houses back then weren't as, for lack of a better word, they weren't as sophisticated as they are now. Nowadays, it's like you go around a corner and like you see lots of stuff. And I've even been trying to not go over every little detail, um, because there are things that I've talked about this aloud before. There are things that we just start seeing a lot of eventually. We see kind of the same things. So it's like, oh, look, it's a place for folks to like sit and gather and have snacks and all that. Like I'll still point it out sometimes, but I've started to go through those like a little bit faster, um, because we've seen that. There's there isn't anything that is technically like, whoa, this is very different. Um, so I try to put a little bit more focus on things that are a bit more like new-ish or refreshing, or just things that like that pop differently. But sometimes there are just houses that are just overwhelming. Um, and you might catch that energy whenever that happens. Ooh, that is really loud. How did I do? Did I do it twice? I think I did it twice, didn't I? I did. That's happens when I don't pay attention, man. All right, so I don't think I paused anywhere. All right. Everything coming out seems expensive. Those planks are 5 each too, but beams are only 1, so I'll continue using beams. I think those planks are not, well, I mean, I'm gonna leave feedback and say those are kind of expensive, but what I like though are the little shingles. I want to see freaking like samurai sculptures, like a big old like a big, oh, that be kind of cool if we saw like a stone statue of some sort, and then they use like all those little plates to make like armor. Oh, that'd be sick. That'd be hella cool if they did something like that. Yeah, I would be all over that. 100%. That's good. All right, so ready to roll. Oh, I should close WoW too. Last time I forgot. And I felt kind of goofy there. And then what sort of picture is there? There's that. Okay, do I want that as the front? Maybe that. Not that. Probably not that. That's cool, but actually, I think I'll go with this. This seems kind of neat. Actually, let me see if it sits right. Okay, how's that kind of thing to it? That should be all right. Maybe. It's kind of artsy looking, so. So are we excited for the invasion points? Yeah, I like it. I'm easy to impress because these days I'm not the type who's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna 100% everything in like a day and like grind it out. I'm very much a, nibble at stuff sort of player these days. So yeah, for me, I'm like, hey, cool. Now, are you excited? Whatever. It's, yeah. I'm not speaking for you. I'm just speaking for me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna make y'all. I'm not gonna try to. I'm not gonna try and sell it to you. You know, I'm not that kind of show. I like the idea of the unexpected. So it's a new thing. I mean, I find it to be like a refreshing thing that they're, kind of like, um, to me, what's that one zone? Siren Isle. Siren Isle felt pretty thin by comparison. It didn't have like a lot to do on like a regular basis. This one seems a bit more structured because you have like the series of world quests and whatnot, whereas Siren Isle was more like fill up the bar. Um, it's not a huge difference, functionally, but the structure feels a little different, and I kind of like that. Uh, I hope the world boss isn't as crazy as it was on the PTR though. That thing was kind of nuts. All right. By the way, thanks to Thereof for the Prime. And just in case, thanks to Thurston Zystar, in case I did not thank ya for subscribing. Much appreciated. Where's the thing? Oh, here we go. Oops, not that. Oni, what's up, dude? What's good? Okay, where's my window? Yo. Trying to export. Boop. Doesn't let me export. Great. All right, I'll try that again. I'll try that again then. Don't fail me, Photoshop. We need you. Meanwhile, let me get this upload started. I've been doing keys. Shared the axe I got in Guild Chat the other day. It feels really weird having full graded mid stuff at that. Yeah, I know. It is different. But it happens to Guild doing stuff. So I can't be mad at that. They're doing keys, they're having a pretty decent time, they're feeling the power gains and all that. So yeah, it's all good. Okay, where's the upload? There it is. I'm hoping the shingles and planks become dyeable. They are currently not dyeable. They are just that one color so far. Alrighty, so all right. In this blog read, learn 16th. I totally flubbed that. Not the 30th, buddy. 16th. Yay. All right. So what we'll be doing. Where is my link now? We're almost done, guys. Don't worry. Article, buddy. Miss using Adobe. If I had, I've tried other stuff and I keep coming back to Adobe, but it's like, damn, dude, like $20 a month or whatever it is, sucks. Normal people spend like 60 a month, but I don't think anyone normal does that. But I use it, so you know, cost of business. Might want to remove the war within tag. Do I still have it in there? No, it says midnight. Oh, you mean down? Oh, the tag doesn't matter. Yeah, that's not a big deal. Honestly, I should fill up the thing with tags and make it super obnoxious looking because like it doesn't make a big difference anyway. At least I've learned that tags don't do a damn thing. Not a darn thing. Now, if I had in the title, whoops, I've done that before too, though. Where I've put in like I name dropped the wrong expansion. That has definitely been a thing. All right, we're looking good. Meep. All right, as usual, if you don't mind, hit the video, let it run through the whole way, like it, watch another video right after it, and then immediately close your window to help support the algorithm. Yay! Okay, so let's get back into WoW. I got to step away in just a bit. Mom needs something. And then we'll get back to visits. Woohoo! Thanks again for your patience, guys. Sometimes I gotta work. Sometimes I gotta do content. Gosh. Love your stories about the houses. When they come, they come. Sometimes the stories don't quite pop. Sometimes Jake comes out to play and all that. Okay, so let me see what they need. I'll be right back. kind of funny. Like I'll get into conversations with my mom about AI stuff. You know, good things about it, bad things about it, applications, yada yada yada. And I'll remind myself, or I won't say it to her, but I'll remind myself, sometimes, Mom, you have to call me over just so you can figure out how to pause on Netflix or how to rewind or fast forward or whatever. And I'm like, should we be having this conversation? Is this something that you're really going to, that you're going to know? But, if she wants to talk about it, that's cool. But sometimes she needs help with working the Netflix. All right. We're going to Adriana's place next. 53. 53. Sometimes she said, yeah. Like a while, it's been a few years now, but one time she pressured me into flying over all the way to their place in Hawaii, um, just so I can set up their internet. They're like, "Hey, we want to cut the cable, right?" I'm like, "Okay, let's do this." I brought equipment over, or I ordered equipment, had it sent, and all that stuff. Spent the week setting it up, and then like the day before I was gonna fly out, they're like, I don't like it. So like, I'm sorry, what? Like, yeah, can you just put it back? We're just gonna keep the cable instead because this and this. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I was pretty mad. She just want to spend time with me. We didn't though. In that case, they were doing their thing. I was doing my thing. I was just like quietly fiddling away, doing some wall work and wiring and all that stuff. And worst part of that story was not getting to fly to Hawaii. Oh no, I went. I went. I just went for nothing. So, I still hold that over her head. I'm like, you had me take a week off work for this. Because remember, this is this isn't going to Hawaii on vacation. This is going to visit your parents' house in Hawaii. It's very, very different. It's very different. All right. Let's get to it though. Mm, hit the record button. That'd be a good idea too. All right, folks. This is Adriana's place. We're over in Founders. Place is kind of fenced off with actual fences plus greens, but it's more like a barrier. So let's kind of admire the sights right from this shot here. Right, nice and filled out. Huge setup. There's a straight up cherry tree that's blasting outside of the house. Oh, that's crazy. It's just like, nope, I own this place now. So there's the boss of the house right up there. It's the tree. Just kidding. So we're being led. That'll take us to the front door. Let's go through the side here, though. We'll stick to this first person view. Getting an idea of like the sights, the pathing. So like there's the potty. Maybe it means we won't see a potty inside. That's usually what sometimes happens. Oh, check it out. They have a greenhouse set up too. Massive greenhouse, by the way. Right inside, a lovely picnic being set up. Warm sounds, gnomes, lots of little decor that pops. Very, very pleasing to the eye. It's kind of funny though how it's all like covered up and everything though. It's very pretty though. But I am amused that it's all just kind of covered up. Maybe you can like put a shroud on it and be like, all right, we'll have a little bit of privacy, keep some of the sounds out. We don't want just anyone here. All right, so we'll go around a little bit more. Actually, was there a path? Okay, so the path like just took us to the trellis here. Okay, so quick path there, and we round out. I do find it funny how the cherry blossom trees are just like exploding right through. So here's the front of the house. We do have another like kind of a picnic area right over here. Make some observations, look at clouds. What's that thing shaped like? I don't know. Legion ship. Okay, that's a Legion ship for sure. That's my damage meters. It's poop. Looks like poop. But let's head inside. I'm being such a goofball. All right. So, according to the notes, it says treehouse inside. That's it. Treehouse inside. So as you first go in, we're immediately blanketed by all these greens. Check out how we're brought in. Trellises on the side, a very bright window. As we're let in, let me back up some and just take this whole thing in. Priority trellis is right up there as well. And immediate kitchen stuff. Plus portal, plus stairs to who knows what. So we're gonna start with the kitchen area that usually results in like the kind of a dead end. Then we can turn back. Then we'll head upstairs. Then we'll go through the portal to who knows where. Some cool setups here. We have this initial closet area. Actually, here's like kind of like a serving area. Dining table is right up front. Food that is prepped is here, but then we have areas for like pickup snacks. So you want to grab some tea, snacks, cakeys or whatnot. Of course, coffee, heck yeah. But as for all the sausage gets made, it's right back here in this tiny room kitchen. And we have like this very cool setup. Lots of greens, lots of lots of color that pops in this pantry area. I'm noticing here, like this countertop, I don't know if this is intended or not. Maybe it was, but there's a very slight angling here. You can sort of see it because this sink here has an angle, but the beams here, they kind of follow that. And so I think that's what's going on here. Here it's flat because it's like, yo, you got to have your cutting surface and all that. Boom, boom, boom. You're good. Here, not so much. Here it kind of like slants over as if things can kind of roll down. Again, I'm not sure if that's intended, but that seems to be how it works out. And Rufus is amused. Back here, you got your pantry. Actually, I think I saw some cabinet work here too. Very nice. Oh, look, you got little buddies. Wait, why are they captured? Oh no. Well, I'm gonna leave that open so they can like run free and all that. All right, we got our again pantry stuff, cabinet area. Interesting. They have this little design, this curved elven table that's being used as a trim, just to make a cool little extra. Great work with this kit bashed oven. It is mostly being comprised of steel, but they just look like wooden beams, but it's steel, some sort of steel. But otherwise, that would be extremely dangerous. You have your two Pandoran walls here to make the surface of the grill. And then a usual practice here. You have barrels and then these upside down chandeliers that are doing the work. So great job with that. Super tall fridge. More pantry stuff here on the side. Very important. Bulletin board for the family. So has a kind of a family house sort of vibe. Or this could be a retail space, but I'm going to say a family house sort of vibe, leaving notes for folks. Very nice. So we retreat back. Great work with the greens, by the way. They flow really well. I like how this all comes together too. It's like it's inviting, but also foreboding because of the whole portal. Like, where is it going to take us? I don't know. Usually it's spell stuff. Void stuff. I almost sound very unexcited about that, but it's a very typical thing. We've seen many things in our visits. So we're going through into this stairwell room now, and we have the Arkandor as kind of the climb as we head up. But let's see what's going on behind here too. Big greens as we're led around the Arkandor. And we have chemistry stuff happening here, as well as this very intense, very filled out aquarium. And who are the stars? Miss Murgles. It's almost like they're singing a song and they're soothing this dragon, something like that. Or they're looking at us right now and they're like, come closer. I dare you. You want to end up like this dude? Yeah. What? So we're like, okay, no, it's cool. They can do their own thing. We'll leave them alone. Don't let those friendly faces fool you, because that dude got cooked, right? And they're just, straight faced. So beware, folks. Beware. Perhaps the person who's here, they're trying. You know what? I think I know what they did. Chemistry set stuff, experiments, yada yada yada. Experimented on the Murgles. So these three are fighters. There's like some Powerpuff Girls sort of stuff going on. They will end dragons and anyone that gets in their way. But what are they trying to do? I don't know. What's their agenda? Probably world domination. Probably dinner. No, maybe they're just there to, they're just doing it for the fun, for the love of the game. Anyway, as we make this climb, notice how we are very, very greened out now. It's not super overwhelming to a point where we're being fooled into thinking that this is a forest area, but we're definitely seeing this strong fusion of nature and like civilization. So we go around here, we have a sudden well upstairs. Why? I don't know. They just wanted to have that because it looked cool. But yeah, really strong assortments of greens right here, and also the ceiling too. I think most of the ceiling is meant to be covered as well. Mood doesn't change in this hallway either. Again, we have this mix of civilization, the carpets, the benches and whatnot, but then nature's like just encroaching, spilling through. So great stuff. Great stuff here. All right, so I want to go through this door now. This purple door. And now it's even encroaching the floors as well. So great centerpiece work here. This looks great. Cherry trees in the middle, plus the pond. And they even included like the rock garden set up on top of a rock. Oh, meta. Now, as for what's behind here, it is a bedroom. And we have all the little creatures, including Miss Murgles. Oh, crap. So this place is very heavily guarded. This place is safe. No one's going to mess with the boss of this house. Because if they do, these Miss Murgles, they're going to just eat their faces. Evil is not safe here. But nature is. Oh, man. Great room. I love how all these colors are coming together. Between the lighting, we have like occasional soft lighting coming in. We have some soft blues coming in here. We have some subtle yellows at this corner. So it feels like at certain corners where we do see some of the lighting, it's very intended to just like have like these, somewhat isolated spots. So we have like the soft lighting coming from here to illuminate this kind of like hanging swing. Yeah, you can see the chains right up there. Place to sit. Here's a work spot. And here we have a fusion of both like a purple and a blue light coming out here. So we have like this nice illumination in these spots here. It's always fun when seeing those come together. All right, so there's a path there, but then there's also a secret here. And it's more like a secret bathroom. Okay, you don't need to hide the bathroom. But then again, this is the place to hide it from guests. Because if someone's like, where's the bathroom? We can be like, oh, it's outside. There's an outhouse over there. And we'd be like, ugh, can't I use your bathroom? It's like, no, this is my bathroom. You ain't going to my spot. And if they try to, this Miss Murgle is going to murder them. They're going to straight up drown them in the bathtub. So I'm safe. People who are allowed to be here, they're fine. But yeah, check it out. She's like, dude, she's totally hiding. Look at that. Stealth Murgle right there. Like, do you see them? Nope. They're gone. Literally invisible. Until, you know, and then there you go. But we're fine. We're okay. Now, the thing is, I don't see a toilet. At first I thought that was a toilet. That is not. Here's our vanity. We rinse, we got our products and everything, but then there's no place for number 2. All right. Now it is the secret bathroom, so I guess they just don't want it to smell. That could be a thing. So let's go across. Let's see what's going on through here. Because we're going to go through this shroud and into... Now things are getting really heavy. So we're kind of seeing the story of the greens here. So I feel like we're going into like the source of where these greens are coming from. Because things are like, ooh, they're thick now. You know, and then the water is constantly going. So yeah, we're definitely going to see this feel of overgrowth. And it looks like we're going outside too. Yep. Yeah, we did. Yeah, great way of presenting this. Yeah, that makes the arch look even more grand than it already is. It's already looming. I mean, this thing is huge. So here it is as like this whole centerpiece. I'll kind of walk around it. What I love too about this place, plenty of space for pets. Folks are hanging out. Or pets are hanging out. And again, can't be any safer than this because these Miss Murgles, they're insane. Yeah, great work with making this really, really neat spot. Lots of colors. So let's like kind of like retreat back. Now we're going to look at it from this angle here. So puppy's safe in his house, but also got Miss Murgles to like watch its back. Going around this side, we see the moonwell that the arch is watching over. Zoom out a little bit. Oh, okay, this is neat too. Really nice garden work. Actually, if you let's see, I'm not quite sure what the surface is here. Actually, this is the Caribor Fountain. Ah, this is the top of the fountain. Okay. Oh, okay, I get it. Because notice how the surface, the top lip here, there's like no texture. It's like pretty much flat. And so it's easy to take like 1, 2, 3 of these, right? And hold on to this texture here. And, you know, you can have that whole surface. That's pretty darn good. Good stuff. So like if I click here, another one. If I click here, another one. If I click there, same one, I think. That might be a rock, actually. But yeah, great work. Great work. And then the big spread is like right here. Lots of greens coming out. It's multiple waterfalls, sentinel owls watching stuff. Yeah, it comes together great. It kind of has an illusion effect too. Because if we go back here, notice how the tree is like only as big as like the owl. So I feel like, you know, if we're like here, it does appear to have like a greater depth than it actually has. Not that it's like a mountain or anything that's back there, but you know, just a little bit of distance. Nothing too crazy though. So yeah, it comes together really, really well. All right. So we're gonna retreat back into this kind of foresty area. Yeah, that fountain work, really well done. I'm impressed. So I think we are retreating back. And we're going to check out the other wing. Actually, I think we're going to go through the portal now. Yeah, let's go. So kitchen area. That was the upstairs. And then, let's see where this takes us. Oh, no. Okay. Boop. Oh, house. Okay. Okay, this I didn't expect. I didn't expect it to take us to a, not a plain house, but, well, a more plain house. I would say it is a lot less foresty. Not a green in sight. But now keep in mind, we might be outside of the protection of the Miss Murgles. So we might encounter danger in this spot. So we have one lion who might be here to protect us, or this might be their turf, perhaps. Here it feels like kind of armory of sorts. You know, different sorts of class celebrations happening here. So we pan across, and we have both priest and paladin stuff, shaman stuff, as we go across a little bit more. Some warrior branding in that corner. And then we're offered to climb. Oh, we have a climb. Okay. Death Knight stuff right here in this corner, plus rogues. Here it looks like we have like shaman stuff and Drakthir as well. That's going to take us to who knows where. So I think we're going to climb up. I like this. This is very unique. You have like this, you have this sort of climb here, but we're going up these spiral stairs. Stairs, oh boy. I'm just starting to learn stairs myself right now. And boy, I appreciate how much people struggle with that stuff. It's crazy. All right. So at the top of this stairwell room, ooh, we actually can go a little bit higher, even though it's not vaulted. You know, we just have like a low ceiling so we can explore a little bit more. We seem to continue seeing a kind of a class vibe. So like here's like warlock stuff, warlock and demon hunter stuff. The green hues are just extreme. Here, total lens filter. Boop, green, nice and easy. We go across. I'm getting hunter vibes out of this spot, and also maybe a bit of skinning engineering, but I'm gonna go with mostly hunter stuff in here. We go across this table, plus gazebo. And, oh, actually, we can just kind of observe. Oh, so this is just meant to be a window. Okay. Huh. It's just pretty. I'm not quite sure what's supposed to be out there, or if it's supposed to, like, represent a class or anything like that, but it's just a pretty setup. Yeah. I find that pretty unique, actually. Because I think they just took the, like a closet area, close that thing off, all that stuff, you know, put stuff in front of it, another trellis to give it some more shape. And now we just have a very like crazy looking window. I think we can look at it from like this upper angle here. Yeah, so while it feels cramped in that spot, I think it still delivers like a really cool experience there. But then we come up here into this sort of upper loft, and we have a place to like, you know, kind of curl up and sleep. And remember, we not a Miss Myrtle in sight. So I'm not sure what, again, not sure where that story goes. But someone lives up here, for sure. So let's head down now. And I think we can go into the next room. Yeah, we go into the next room now. Let's see, that was where we were at. Okay, so yeah, so we had like this big curve. Very tight climb here. Boom. And then we can go this way. All right, so we cross through one more closet space. Boom. And here appears to be the collection room. So we got the night wheel in the middle and just, you know, whole collection of stuff. Actually, this works out great as a functional trophy room, not for, you know, not for just like a house, but like for the player. So like here's like the raid shelf, right? So we have a number of objects here. There's more to be added later on as they want to just kind of like throw things together. That's cool. So that's, and then we have here this other shelf for like not the regular stuff, but more like ahead of the curve things. So here they are. They completed everything. Well done. Congratulations. And it's cool that we can like see those things and know, okay, that's where, that's where that came from. They did those things. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of these kinds of trophies later on. Same thing with the prey stuff, although that's, kind of like easier stuff. I'd say this one, feels a bit more accomplished. There's, whether it's a pug or if you're doing it as a static or a guild group, it's all good. Past the trophy room, though, and I believe this is the final room of the house, this is the tree house, it looks like, that they alluded to. And while there are a lot of greens here, it looks like it's looming. Looks like there's a lot going on in this spot. So let's see how we can like navigate our way through. Some walking stones sort of take us across. There's stairs over there, but I kind of want to explore this lower area first. So once again, we have like lots of fountain work being used to create those sorts of animated textures. And it looks like we can even kind of crawl here a little bit. Can I go into this? No, that's just fountain stuff that's down there. All right, no problem. But there's like this little bridge that takes us across. Right around through here, I'll just kind of like wade through the grass a little bit. Here's a private spot to like hang out in. And remember, this isn't the treehouse proper. We're just kind of like chilling at like, in areas that are like close by. So there's the entrance where we came from. We'll just kind of like navigate our way through the foliage. You can see like these platforms, they kind of like lead us all over the place. So let's start the climb. So boop, and then go up another spiral staircase. Notice how they're using the pillar as the kind of base here. As we get to the top of the spot, trellises help to create like kind of the illusion of walls. Here we have some actual railings to prevent us from falling. But we have like these visual barriers to prevent us from just like flying over. Yeah, really cool. We'll go across this sort of suspension bridge. Notice how the beams are like uneven, which is like, the whole point of the thing. And here we go. We have two Miss Murgles here. Ready to, oh no, the Miss Murgles are here. So this is definitely where like the boss would like hang out and have to be their spots, because these Miss Murgles are here to keep the peace. Anyone gets close, they're going to get murdered and turned into dog food. So we sit. There's one Miss Murgle to like keep an eye on things. We even have a lion to keep an eye on things too. I notice how we're surrounded by these different trellises. Lots of greens all around us. To kind of close out the space. I think I can zoom out. Maybe not. I'm going to try to, though. Yeah, you can see how this place is like just caked. There's no hope of trying to break the illusion here. So I'm gonna drop down, actually. So bye, Miss Friggles. Yeah, so here I am, like kind of in the middle of the spots. And yeah, it's super forested up. Very, very closed off. Really pretty. Really, really pretty. I think I have seen everything. Great build. Great build. Yeah, these days I'm like more and more of a sucker for greens, but I want to have, I know I personally, I want to make like a clean looking space. It's just really hard to do. I know I myself, I just need to play with more decor styles just to see how it lands and then what I end up being happy with. All right, so this will teleport us. I'm going to step away for just a second. Actually, no, I'm not. I just wanted some chapstick, that's all. All right. Zero. Oh, is that the boss? That's the boss. Actually, I don't know if that's the boss. I'm just going to assume it is, because who else would be hovering there? All right. So when the treehouse first came out, you showed it in one of your videos. Like you, I didn't know how I couldn't customize the trees. You mentioned it was nice, but players would probably make their own version. I was like, I can do that. So I built this. I built another custom treehouse on EU for Mr. Tour Guide's competition next week. Oh yeah, it was you who I was talking to the other day about the weirdness of being logged onto. It's kind of lame. Like if you're logged onto a different account, like if you're logged onto a different region account, or if you're logged onto Classic, um, and I try to find your house, I can't find it. It's a very silly bug, and nobody likes it. So anyway. Oh yeah. All right, this is Maribel's house. We're over in Founders, and according to the notes, or according to what they had just messaged earlier, they wanted to make their own rendition of the skin of the housing skin that's currently on the shop. They made their own rendition of it. We'll take a look at it. We're on the Zero plot, one of the most popular spots. And actually, it is the most popular spot in Founders, straight up. And let's take a look at what we've got. Now, because they're trying to go for a rendition of the house that's in the shop, I already like this better because it's very in character with what we have here in Founders. Because we're in the kind of spooky part in this Zero plot. And so we have decor that, I'm sorry, we have greens that match the vibe. So I really, really appreciate that. It had, now, unlike the other spot, it has a sort of a fort kind of feel to it, because we have like these beams that rise up and create like this sort of like single texture. So it's kind of intimidating at first with the whole vibe of it, but we'll see how things look as we do the climb. So because the front door is not here. The shop skin, it has the front door like right up front door. But let's do the climb and let's see how this plays out. So again, like very looming with the setup. They have a ramp that they put together, and pretty simple ramp. We just get it right here and we're good to go. The house itself, it's on its normal level and everything, but I really like, because of the way that these beams are shaped, which is very, very meticulous, by the way. Look how smooth that is. Like the angling of this. Really, really good. But it has this other effect too. Because we're working with this angle, things kind of like bevel a little bit. And so things kind of sink down. And so we have this kind of like natural place to like catch things. So in this case, we can tell like the little story of, oh yeah, it's catching like all these different like greens and whatnot. And so now we have all this growth that's coming out of like every corner here. And the budget allowed for that. Whoop. So it's a lot of beams, but they only took up a budget of 1. So that ain't so bad. And then from that, there's like looks like some paving stones or rocks or whatnot that are helping to close off spaces, in case someone were to try to explore. We don't want them to like fall in. That would be like super unfortunate and hella funny. But what's cool though is that overall, like the kind of vibe that's being sent here is that this is like a hollowed out tree trunk. Like think of it as like an ancient tree. And then it was like chopped down or it died or something like that. But then someone built a house on it, which is really cool. So really, really good job with this. I'm very, very impressed by this work. Yeah, screw that shop house. This is great. This is great. I feel like people who use store items should lose points. No, I don't want to judge people either. If people like that vibe, great. Use it. Use it, make it your own, and you're good to go. So like I said, I don't want to judge people that decide to use it. I'm just gonna make an example of what I do, and that's it. But this whole place, it's all about the positive vibes and everything. So, all right. So as soon as we go in, things it feels like a different kind of shift. So we're invited in, and it feels like a regular house. And by regular, I mean like a semi-modern house in Warcraft. You know, we go in, we hang our stuff. I think these are like curtains or drapes or whatnot. Yeah, we hang our stuff, we come right in, and what are we offered with? A place to sit. No TV, nothing crazy like that. So I feel like we're just kind of in a Warcraft era house, at least so far. We have this fireplace that is built pretty flush with uh I'm sorry, into the wall. Nice and inviting though. Now we have a door already that's right there. I'm kind of curious, and I think I saw a kitchen with fridge. Yeah. So we do have a sort of modern feel in this house. Now how we have like these solid walls colors, keeping it like pretty I don't know if that's a blue or not. It's a little bit hard to tell, but it's a very deep color. Actually, I would say here's the color that's matching the walls right over there. Through this spot, we have a kind of immediate bedroom. It looks like, yeah. So we come in, really pretty setup because we have like the nice bright light that helps to sort of like frame things. You have like a bit of the fireplace glow right on the side. And now we have a bit of a shift in the color tones. Now we have this kind of like this rosy pink instead. But it's a good contrast for the greens that are now coming out of here. Because you can see here we have like we have a number of the priory trellises. I forgot the name of them. Well, we have these trellises right down here that give us some greens. And we have some more greens right back here in this hot tub. This natural looking hot tub. Nice. Of course, we're gonna enjoy our wine. Puppy's not allowed to go inside. It's very unsafe. Don't get wet, buddy. And you probably stink. So don't do that. But very inviting bathtub. It's cool because you also have like the lighting that comes in here too. You can see how the glow doesn't exactly come from this light. I'm pretty sure the candle here is playing a part too, but you can see how the glow bounces off the curtains here to give off that sort of vibe. So good job with that. Now over here, we kind of do this weird kind of immersion shift because now we have this blue light that's coming through into this large open bed. It's almost like a druid can sleep here. It's just like plop, do your thing. Very, very spacious. But it's cool because it's like the whole bed, but it's still kind of closed off. So we can grab our gear or change and what have you, and then we come right out into this bit more open area. Or if you happen to have guests, okay, cool. You know, and if you wanted to close these drapes, if that was a thing, then cool, you would do that too. So very functional. It's very well thought out. All right, so let's return to the main room and into the kitchen. Dig this. Made some barriers to kind of close off the space without really closing off the space, because otherwise you would be met with a style of door like that. And something like this, it helps to kind of preserve that whole Kaldorite culture vibe to it without losing anything. And you can see here how this kitchen, it still has the same opening. They just kind of cut it in half and put a wall there instead. So very intentional there. Clean kitchen though. Nothing too crazy. You know, you have your sink area. This window probably leads to the outside, but it looks like it's the dead of night out there. Let's see, a whole fridge setup. Big handles, paddle handles to open that fridge. And then here in this spot, you know, we have a lot of space. We have this little prep counter. No island, not necessary. An island would probably take up a bit too much space, but it's a nice little counter for like other prep. And then with this setup, we have these Zandalar tables that help to create like this kind of color and texture. Very clean. Same thing with the vent too. Actually, that's a lot more work than I normally see put into a vent. I know habitually I've seen oh gosh, I think it was a dwarven fence post that's that utilizes like kind of the same shape, but they went as far as to create this setup. And I think back here, I forget what this is. This is a the back of the Pandoran fireplace being used as this texture. Very, very thoughtful. Well done. And pantry stuff right on the end. So I'm gonna just panning back again. So relaxy area, kitchen, and then for the fine dining, this is where we're at. Oh, there's Puppy's fine dining right over there too. So we got the lived-in feel. People are feasting. They got their utensils ready. We got drinks and snacks on the side. We got a warm fire to help set us up. And then we have, oh, okay, these climbs are really cool. Because check out the beamwork that's being done here. What's awesome about this sort of like very flush setup is how the patterns, they come together like really, really well. Like you can see the clip and all that, but it's not that bad at all. And it feels kind of natural because like here, for example, some of the clipping here, it's not super even, but it works out. Because you can see like here's a straight line, but then sometimes it kind of like looks a little bit crooked, but it works out. So using the wood texture there, it works out really well. All right. So I think we're going to be going to this outside spot here. Got some gardening tools here, place to wash off once we're done with all the gardening things. Some bootsies, because we're going to be doing some work in the dirts. Let's go. All right, so we come out here and we have like this very thin horizon. It's almost like we have a perspective check here, as if this is like a really extensive like farmland out here. So I almost want to stop here, but I won't. We're gonna explore out there a little bit and see what's going on. But it feels as if there's like this measure of distance back there. We pan around though. We got great shape in here. Nice and easy. And then through here we have opportunity to play some card games. Awesome. And then farm stuff. So here's like our horizon as I'm seeing it, you know. So the illusion I feel like is being kept. Here we have like the Miss Murgles who are like all jealous that Reptar gets his like his own freaking covered house. Reptar's like, haha, I'm the favorite, and they're like, we're gonna murder you in the face when you sleep. And Reptar's like, I have a door, and then Miss Murgles are like, oh, he has a door. Ah, dang it! How dare he? It's because they can't go through doors, because doors are very difficult. They are solid and strong. So, oh, there's more. So there's another Reptar in here, and so this Reptar is like, oh, so were they giving you the stink eye? And this dude's like, dude, they're always giving me the stink eye. Have you seen them? And then they're like, ha, 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 ha. They're not as cool looking as we are. And then they try to high five each other, and then they miss because their arms are too short. And they end up like headbutting each other instead. So nobody's perfect, but in WoW eyes, all creatures are beautiful. So moving on, farm stuff. Oh, this brings back vibes. Any nostalgia come back? Any trauma come back? Actually, you know, it's like it makes you want to click and then start running away. Yeah, good vibes here. Good vibes. I had good memories of the Tiller farm. It started to wear itself out when I was doing it on multiple characters, but you know, it was still fun. So here's some more of the work being done, grinding things out, trimming diseased plants and all that stuff. Smoking, all that too. One place for Puppy, awesome. Yeah, great outdoor spot. Oh, they even have a little barbecue pit. Nice. Cool stuff. And logs. Those are just beamed, right? Why do those look different? That's not what, that's not normal. Fences. Oh, brilliant. Okay, that's some work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fences right there. And then here we have some more. Very good. Really good work there. Smart. Smart, smart, smart. All right, so let's back up some. Yeah, nice. Very, very clever. All right, so now we're doing the climb. Oh, I just noticed that's a goblin. Wow. Damn, lion. You got it good. Damn, you got it good. Like, okay, that gnome is like trashed. Took up lessons from Jake, I guess. Yes. You do you, buddy. You do you. Yeah, great texture work up here. Got rails too. Nice detail. So we got our place to sit, and then let's cross through into this transition spot. You can usually tell because you have like an easy centerpiece in the middle, and then you have your options. So that's going to take us to night. Well, this I feel like is going to take us to like just a single room, but I was wrong. Too late now though. Gaming spot. So here, 2 champions are dueling. Okay, puppy. Okay, you gotta get out of the way now. Come on. So 2 champions are dueling, standing up. Observers are watching. Puppy's like, nope, nope, this is all about me. Person over here is so nervous that they brought an egg with them for comfort. This is their emotional support eggie. So they're like, oh my God, what movies is he going to make next? And so they're just doing like this sort of motion. And then anyone who's watching, so like if there's people like there, you know, whoever's there is like, they're not even, they're having a hard time paying attention to the game because they're looking at this person being like, ooh, egg. And then this dude is like, dude, what the hell is going on? This dude is like tripping over this egg. This person doesn't notice, you know, because there's like the shrubbery here. So if I'm sitting here, they don't really see it. They're just looking at the game. They're fine. This person's like, they're so distracted. Totally distracted. Yeah. They're probably wondering to themselves, dude, at this rate, they're gonna hatch the egg. Holy cow. All right, let's do this next climb. We go straight, we start the curve. Boom, 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 boom. Feels great. And now artsy stuff up here. Too much art, time to nap, wake up, do art. So you got that going on in this upper area. Note how we have like the slanted roof here. So we know that we're maybe at the top floor. Yeah, we also have the slanted roofs here as well. And up in this spot, one little spot here. It almost looks like I want to pray here or something like that. I don't believe that to be the case, but yeah, I could. Then we have like what looks like a little trellis box. Am I guessing right? Yes. Little trellis box, and then, you know, window in front of it. There weren't any options up here. Yeah, so we're here. So now, oh, we are going higher. Ooh, look at that. Damn. All right, so we've got, wow. Ooh. Oh, that's good. Check that out. What a clean pattern we have set up there. Platform, 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 you know, a whole bunch of platforms. They all just kind of come together into the mid. And then, you know, we just have a little chandelier thing coming down, nothing too crazy, but very clean. That's super clean. I like that. Now, as we're up, whoa, what is this? Whoa. Okay. I must have not have noticed this because like there's a thing downstairs too. So I guess I didn't notice it. Oh, wow. Now these are flat. These beams are flat. They're just angled in a certain way, but boy, is it clean. And also notice, because we have like pretty much the full beam being used, it has a sort of like sunken beveled feel to it. So it feels really natural too. That's neat. That's hella cool. Ooh, I like this. I like this floor. Hmm. I'm not even looking at anything else. I'm just kind of like looking at the angling of the of the. That's such a dork. Oh, that's cool, dude. That's hecka cool. Yeah, so you can see here, beam, beam, and the way that it's, you can see like this kind of like overlap. You have this middle beam that's up towards the bottom, and then another beam that fills that space. So this is a lot of pieces that are going into like just this one spot. Very meticulously put in. Wow, I'm impressed. I'm very, very impressed by that. Now, as for the room, as for the walls, bookshelves, right? I would say that mechanically it is not as sophisticated or meticulous as the flooring, but worth mentioning too. And then check out the climb. Oh, really good climb. This is mathematical, madness here. Setting up that climb in the middle like that. And then here, once again, we have like this whole pattern on the floor too. You can see here as well, just how well thought out the pattern is, and just how clean this circular shape is. This stairwell room is immaculate. That's hella good. And then here's a bedroom, whatever. I'm just kidding. We have these smaller rooms, and little closet spaces with like fun other bits of decor here. Put it. We have our void well, we have whatever this object is, plus the void pulsy, I forgot what it's called. Void orb, there we go. And then here is the light post. Got it. All right. Really neat setup though. Weapons on the side. So just a void person's bedroom. Cool. All right, so let's keep exploring. That was one door. So a couple more doors to check out. And then we'll continue the climb. Immediate toilet as soon as we walk in. So I hope you can lock the door. Vanity setup. Nice and clean. With the beam, with the actually no, not beams. It's using a partial doorway for the top of that. And then I think here you have not beams, but actually I think is it upside down perhaps? Nope. Okay, that's a beam. Okay. And then those are just doorways. Got it. All right. Tub setup. Great stuff with the TP. Appreciate that. I imagine that some people aren't that they wouldn't trust arcane toilet paper. They might be told, no, it's magic. It cleans itself when you're done. Are you sure, dude? Are you really that sure? All right, so we go through here and we enter a blood elf room. Note that we have like the really deep blues in this spot. Yellow, red, blue. Goes well. I think it goes pretty well together. Looks like it's a warlock's room as well. But they have, otherwise, they have a pretty pleasant place to sleep in. Yeah. They know where they came from. No? It looks like we have, okay, that's where we came from. Went through there. Did I go through? I went through there as well. Okay, so I think we're ready to climb. Now, in this case, yeah, again, really clean stairs, dude. And it comes up like just right. Yeah, you have like the tiniest bits of space loss here, but no one's gonna notice that. Only some doofus like me is gonna be like, oh well, they lost like a small segment of whatever. Great stuff. Up here we have some placeholders because we just got to the top here. But it looks like we have some other rooms to explore, such as this human fill-in room that is with a bed on fire. That's it's a heated bed. Excellent. They have a heated bed. So, get jealous of that. They are also slightly evil. Yes. Perhaps they're warlocks? No, they are death knights. Ah, got it. And then here's like, okay, no, can't go through there. Tried. So she really gets that cold. Okay. That's hella funny. At first I thought it was okay, maybe downstairs there's like some other decor that just happens to like bleed through or something like that. I'm like, no, that's intentional. Fire. I'm amused. I'm very amused. Okay, and then on the other end here, this setup. And one more bathroom. All right. Same shapes. Same setup. Very cool. All right, let me retreat down. I'm actually not sure if I had set up yeah, I'm not sure if I set up a different path. Okay, you mentioned your oh, that's cute. That's adorable. And what is it? It is an egg. Oh, maybe that's what was downstairs. No, that was a spotted egg. Yeah, so these are specifically the striped eggs. So you can pull off the whole thing. Oh yeah, I can get that. Yarn, needles and yarn. Got it. The egg that's downstairs, though, not so much. So a Frost Death Knight Tailor is what I'm going to tell myself. Interesting. All right, so we're going to make our way down. And we'll, there's a floor under the library. Yeah. So I'm going to make my way down. I don't want to drop down. I want to find my way, which is not that way. I'm looking, okay, I'm going here. And then I climb down. Because I know there was more I haven't explored yet. So here's this spot with the game and stuff. And there is, I think, that way. Yeah. Actually, no, I didn't go through here. So here's, okay, so here is the bottom of the library. Yeah. Oh, that's sick, dude. That's a sick pattern for sure. This must have taken like 15 minutes to put together. That's incredible. It's such a clean donut. So good. All right. And what is through here? Another bedroom. Very Herondar. Love the way that these all like dance together. Herondar, kind of like the troll stuff. Herondar stuff is sick. Looks really good. I would not want it in any of my builds. It's not really my flavor, but just the look of it is really good. There's some cool stuff you can get out of these. Like some cool patterns and everything. Like this can make it like a really gnarly, like if you embiggen that dude and it's turned into a floor, right? You'd have like this really gnarly looking floor. But depends on what the theme of the room is. Like if you did this all four sides of the bathroom, that would probably drive people insane. But it'd be kind of cool for a second because people are like, whoa, what do they do with this? And then when you think of like actually using the bathroom in here, then you'll kind of like start flipping out. If I recall, like certain colors, they induce psychological effects when you're exposed to them for a long time. So like the color orange, I believe, is something that will drive you insane or something like that. If you stare at it long enough, or if you're exposed to that color for like too long, something like that. Any druid players out there? By the way. But yeah, sick stuff. Okay, so I think I wanted to go that way, I think. No, that's where I came from. Have I seen everything, actually? Did I explore all the rooms? That was everything. I'm sure I missed like lots of little things. There are a lot of little details that all went into like some of the kit bashing and all that. Like I can go on about like the stair work here, the way the angling is. Like this is very detailed. Like it looks computer generated and all that. But really, really pretty setup. Thanks for showing us. Love it. And then good luck on your other contest too. All right. So we got one more place. We're going to be over on time, but that's okay. I don't let myself rush or anything. All right. Did that video post correctly? Yes, it did. Okay. Cottrell? I don't know who Cottrell is. I have Windgrace as the name that I'm going to be reading off. No, yours is going to be tomorrow. Did I say Cottrell by mistake? I might have said it by mistake. I apologize. But yeah, Windgrace will be the last one. Tomorrow's visits will be. It starts with Chloe, and then Rokir, and then Faroon, then Contrell, and then Rubidius. That's who I got for tomorrow's. All right. So, oh, this will be different. All right. Oshawott has the most amazing build. Cool. I believe you. Yeah. So, all right. Oh, you had your guild out here already? Oh no! Wait. Okay, I didn't mess up on the schedule, did I? Because then I'll feel awful. Where's my picture stuff? No, that's not it. Yes. So I post a schedule on socials. I post them on the Discord channel, and so this is what I typically follow, pending delays and other stuff. So yeah, sorry about that. And now they have ads. Nice. All right. So let's get this thing underway. All right, folks, this is Windgrace's place. We're over in the spooky part of Founders, and appropriately so. I feel like the choice of housing shape as well as the location is appropriate because according to the notes, this is Beauty and the Beast's Enchanted Castle. Do 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 do. Yeah, so I expect that sort of vibe. I expect to see townsfolk with flaming torches. I expect Gaston and like his little mini-me to like come hang out and all that. No, I'm just kidding. Looks kind of empty outside right now. No one's home. They're all out gallivanting and not getting attacked by wolves and stuff. Now, this does tell the story of what I don't recall it too well. Because wasn't Belle or whatnot traveling through a wagon and then stuff happened and then the beast like saved her and then Stockholm syndrome? No. That's no, that's not how it worked. But anyway, as we enter the spot, we enter the kind of courtyard. Let's go with that. Because I know it's supposed to be like a castle of sorts that we go into. We do have, appropriately muted colors for the most part. I mean, they're out here, but the filter that we get coming from the Spooky Potter Founders, it tends to kind of like dull a lot of the colors here. Even the privacy screens being used here as windows, they make for very defining window lights, but it's still kind of like glossed over by like the overall dreariness of this particular spot. Here's the fountain where I remember like Belle was like throwing snowballs at the beast or something like that. And then he was getting, okay, not pissed, but out here, we have lots of greens. Not so much on the backside, don't worry about that, but lots of greens up front, which is very typical for most builders. They want to make something that looks, they want to have like a good shot of like the front area. And like, here we go. So great work with using these, with the number of gazebos here, getting the shaping and all that, and having like this additional volume put into the house. So it has that cool castle feel. It's good work. But now I gotta go inside. I don't know if we're going to expect. Okay, maybe we will expect. You know, a lot of the grandioseness of the Beast Castle. Now, when I'm okay, I'm already kind of thrown off here. Check out the stair work here. It has this sort of perspective kind of thing to it, but it's not, because it's actually, they're actually just smaller and smaller tables, right? Now the way that they're the way the gaps are, they seem to, okay, we have like, yeah, they're like actually smaller stairs, but not by much. It's a little noticeable, but at least from back here, like aesthetically, it looks kind of neat. So that's kind of cool. We come here, we get to this front door. I believe that's like a big shelf that's being used as a alternate front door. Looks pretty, gotta say. And then to match the whole rolling carpet, we have this one carpet here. I wonder if they would have been able to pull off having two carpets. So like if they had one right here, and then another one that just acted as a trim. I don't know how well that would end up looking. Maybe it would look sort of janky, but I don't know. And check it out, we have some characters. One needed a lot more kit bashing than the other. So if I do like the quick highlights, you can see like a number of pieces here. Boom, 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 boom. You know, lots of small things to bring this character to life, whose name I now forgot. I know this is Lumiere. This Cogsworth or so, I don't remember so well. But yeah, very cute. Very, very cute. Any other characters around here? Not that I see. So I was right on Cogsworth. Okay, cool. So one lantern, which I believe did play some part in the story as Belle was exploring the castle. Here's Lumiere's dad. Just kidding. It's just a normal chandelier, I think. Yeah, and you know, unlike the Beast Castle, really bright. Although, you know, maybe I'm not remembering too well. I think the castle did feel alive with activity and everything. At least once everyone was out and about doing stuff. But normally it was like really dreary looking, looked abandoned, not very well kept until the characters started coming to life. Now, where will these double doors take us? One's going to hit me in the face, but oh well. Whoop. Ah, the ballroom. Ooh, oh, that's pretty. All right, let's get to the middle of the dance floor here, or the puppy will. Oh, oh yeah, that's great. So starting with the floor, you know, different tiled floor setups. And of course we have like the dance floor to like separate things. And then we have like this really bright setup here. What kind of structure is this? It is the back. Ah, damn, that's a lot of money. That's a bookshelf, 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 one after the other. Somewhere is going to be the library. But first we're seeing like the other side of things. Lots of bookshelves. So we can get that sort of texture. In this case, lots of lots of nets, my favorite thing ever. Plus trellises to take us outside. More bookshelves and whatnot. Well, what I like here is the lighting. The lighting comes off like really well here. And then up top, again, these are part of the bookshelves. You have the platforms that are behind it to help define that other shape. It didn't have to be like that, but I think that comes off really well. Really cool stuff with the 3 chandeliers, looks like. Yeah, it's just 3 of the chandeliers. They just made one, then another, and another. Which is a really easy way of creating like this very grand chandelier style thing. Just make more. Let the perspective, let the angling take care of the rest. Yeah, that's sick. And then here is whoever it was that was singing the song. Nice. And then we got like, oh, this is definitely one of the more grand pianos that I've seen lately. Usually I'll see like smaller renditions or like kind of like a lower poly, I guess. Uh, this one they put a lot of extra work into this one. Comes out great. Great. And then out here, the view, which the skybox room only allows for so much, right? But it's otherwise, if I were to go back here, then we have like a really nice view. Pretty. But there's more out here too. Some dining happening here. Plus gaming, right? I don't remember if they were like playing chess or anything like that. All right, let me get like a few shots here. And then on this side, one place to sit. I'm kind of waiting for the beast's room, where like he's something that does have a more dreary look to it, a sign of his personal struggles and all that. And we're still on the first floor too. So we have the whole grand climb ahead of us as well. So we'll jog our way back to the main room. I'm still very like, at the whole perspective like shift here. It's kind of funny. It's like climbing a pyramid of sorts. All right, so now we're going through the east wing, if we're getting our directions right. So we transition over, and what do we have? Okay. This has a bit of familiar feel to it. I think the ceiling is what was higher back then in the movie, but I got this. Yeah, one nice warm spot, solitary spot. This is where the boss, the beast boss, would like sit on his own, talk with his servants and all that. We have another grand entrance to something over there, but I want to kind of like peek around the corner here. Oh yeah, there's going to be more to explore there. So I think I want to go through the double doors first. Let's see what we got. Boop. So here's the library. Heck yeah. I've seen one other grand library, and this definitely has it to match. Now, in this case, it's still indoors. I think the one that I saw before happened to be outdoors. This one retains that whole indoor feeling. Really, really epic. Oh yeah, this looks great. Huge bookshelves and like little tiny bookshelves too. Hey, look at me. But for the most part, uh, huge setups here. And we also have like this custom fireplace that's just bar tables. Simple. I like the simplicity of this. Bar tables, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Done. Little fencing right there at the bottom. I'm not quite sure what that surface there is here. Not that. Not that. There it is. Oh, it's that, but upside down. Oh, so they only kept the shape. Wow. That's a very expensive thing to have just for the shape. I would have just used a rug. But, I think the metallic look is what helps to bring it together. And also the size, too. I think it just happens to fit like that. You can see how it all comes together here. And all these books are warm. That's the way I'm kind of looking at it. Very warm books in that spot. Let me zoom back in a little bit. Got more books on this side, and we also have the outdoor looks, since this is technically outdoors. Nice. Really, really nice. And I can climb up. So they also set up grand climbs on both sides, because of course, right? So we take our little walk across this upper landing. Great. Now, the kind of challenge here It's not really a minus, but I guess the kind of challenge here is that up here it's really bright, and it's thanks to like the bajillion windows that are up here. You know, when you have this many windows and lighting overlaps, this is gonna make like these areas like just glow, which is cool, but it's also night. And so that comes off a little odd, as if like it's like, is the moon that bright? No, it is here, but it's normally not. Notice here too, the rails. We have our, you know, we have our beams, but but the angles are being managed by barrels. That's cool. That's inventive and cheap on the labor, or I'm sorry, on the budget. So pretty smart. Yeah, it is kind of funny how the glows, you know, they feel very pervasive almost, but not something you can help if you want a skylight. Now, right now, there's not really anything to give us something similar to that, to something like this, you know, this semi-transparency. But oh, still great though. Really, really good library. Did I take pictures of this yet? Let me make sure. Boop. All right. So now we're going to go through the other end and explore the hallways that are in this wing. Could be bedrooms, could be the boss. I doubt we're going to see the boss's room. I have a feeling that's upstairs. Because that's got to be like a little special, right? Here we have the dining room. Ah. I would have expected it to be like a little grander looking or like a little bit larger, but really cool setup here too, though. Because here we have what looks like just like a wall that is put up. Okay, that is a door. It's not supposed to be a door, but I believe this to be like a wall or a fireplace. No, not a fireplace. Well, oh, no, no, no. It's part of a wall panel. There we go. And then they used platforms there to create the new texture behind this fireplace. It's a lot being done here too, because we have these elven tables being used as like this pillar work for each side of this fireplace. So a lot of little pieces that are going into this. It's very detailed, and it comes together really well. I like the way that the colors and everything sort of pop a little bit. As for the food, you know, we got the whole spread, cakes and meats and lobsters and all the other good stuff. And it's made to have this kind of like warm setting to it, although it is really bright in here. We have a couple of like yellow lights, but some brighter yellows here on the side. And then of course there's the fireplace as well. The prep work was done here in this kitchen, which is pretty darn detailed. There's a lot going into this. Let's take a closer look, because I think we see some like crates and whatnot happening here. Yeah, so these are small shelves. You know, you can see they're like brought down to like this size, and then I think this is the side of a crate. Yeah, carved wooden crate is being used here. And it's just like the flat part. So it's like, actually, I can't tell which part's being used. Huh. Yeah, which part is being used here? Because notice how we have the studs on each side, but somehow, I guess, oh, is it that? No. Well, it's a little hard to tell. Oh, they're bigger. Haha. Okay, because you can see the little tiny little evidence of the stud there. Okay, so it's just a little bit smaller. All right, what's the gray stuff at the table? Someone asked. The gray stuff, that is plates, I think. All right, back to the kitchen though. We have this farmhouse sink, I believe is what it's called. Yeah. Number of tables being used as the top area here, and we kind of see similar patterns here. Yeah. This is very unique. I like that. Tea is going. That's not a character, just tea. And then this shelf that's being used is what exactly? Ah, So these lampposts are being used as like metal studs of sorts. So like here it is. Oops, nice and big, like this right here. And then you have like this very, very unsafe shape. You know, very sharp angles. This'll murder people if it were to hit people. Yeah, so I think this is just one big. Yeah, I think that's just one of the studs. That gets pretty big. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, I like that. There's our vent right over there. That's using an elven shelf. Ah, dishes, special dishes that are being locked off. That's neat. Good job with that. And then a little outdoor stuff. And it's night outside. All right, so let's cut through. Boop. We entered. Actually, we came out back to the hallway, it looks like. So this happens to be the end of the hall, where we have like, there's the beast right there. That's probably the parents, perhaps. And I think we're going on the hallway. Yeah, so that's where we were. That's where we were eating, plus kitchen. And then right through here should take us back to the main hall. There's the library. And now we can go up the stairs. Or up the table. And let's see how this looks as we perform the climb. You know, a little bare up top. It's all right. But there's an open curtain. Here is the door, though. Why? Now, I have a feeling this kind of foreshadows for me. I have a feeling where, yep, the beast's room. All right, so things are getting a little bit gloomy over here. Straight up with like dark portal vibes as we enter. Because now, notice how lights have gotten really dim over here. You just have like these very light glows coming from just certain spots. And then you have this sort of little bit of unkeptness, bit of a mess being left around. You know, some stuff that's been overturned, a little bit of raging out happening here. Oh, check it out. So here's the beast who's already scarred, but he scarred the picture even more with, I don't know. Are those like rugs? They're rugs. But it's cool because you have like that sort of texture. I like how that comes together for the for the tearing of the picture. That comes off really well. Well done with that. Now it's kind of funny because like they're also leaving it hanging too. I think in the movie it was like laying down somewhere. It was just kind of tossed aside, something like that. Yeah. And then of course, okay, yeah, just like more stuff that was like thrown down, raging out. But then we have the most romantic shot of them all. Oh, that's cool. They made this whole, I think that's just like a table, and then they have like another rug that's being used to make the whole crescent thing. You got the magic mirror to take a look. Well, what did the mirror show us? I think it showed us like what they used to look like or something like that. I forget. But then of course we have the rose. Awesome. Awesome. Great depictions. Yeah, I think it nailed like just about everything. The only thing that's missing is like the whole snow thing, which I'm sure like with a lot of decor you'd be able to pull something of that off. But no need. You know, it's a very defining scene though. One of my favorites too. I just noticed here we had like the slanted roof action going there too. Interesting. And we still have the other side. Cool. We ain't done. We're almost done. We still got one more wing to check out. All right. Boom, 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 boom. It's like, does Belle have a bedroom? If she does, it's going to be like over here. Bloop. Yes, it is. Nice. I don't remember what her bedroom happened to look like. But construction of this, let's take a look. But the fireplace that's fused pretty closely into the wall. You have a little bit of it peeking out. You can notice like the clip that's happening right there against the platforms there, but you know, looks good. Here they sit. She has her book. Just one book? Come on now. You can't just have one book. Shucks. But yeah, very pleasant setup. And it's a custom bed too. I think it's just like platforms and then the floor mats here. And then the rest they do themselves. That looks like a bench back there, plus more pillows. And then a number of beams to set this up. You can see here, like here's another bench that's making up the foot of the bed. Nice. And with that, I believe that takes care of all the visits for today. Yay! All right. Oh, there's some coworkers. They're like chatting it up. So here's Lumiere again. And then I don't know what her name is, but she's like the hot broom or mop or something like that. And he's trying to smash, which is like super shameless because it's like, yo, Belle's right in there. And he's like, yeah, but we're out here, girl. Know what I mean? We got this curtain right over here. We have all the privacy that we could ask for. You know, worst comes to worst, we close the door and look at how thick these doors are. No one's gonna get through that stuff, girl. So we can just like, do our thing over here. But then here's the problem. Like you go back there, the light is gonna show off like crazy because the curtains, they don't stop the light. It's just going to keep shining through. It'll be obvious. And then it's going to be very embarrassing. It's like, what if you find her like naked and all that stuff? That's going to be, I don't know how that would work, but I want to give a big thanks to everyone who let us visit their places today. It was, of course, fantabulous and entertaining as all heck. Of course, I want to thank you guys for joining me for the adventures. And then tomorrow we still have more places to visit. We're going to be taking a look at, let me double check the list one more time. We're taking a look at Chloe's, Rokir's, Faroon's, Cottrell's, and Rubidius's place. So I hope you guys come back for more. Of course, follow the channel either here or on YouTube at Around Azeroth, and I have other content coming out normally too. Is there a long wait list for tours? No. No and yes. So like the way it works, Irish, is at 10 a.m. Pacific, I open up the queue. And there are maybe 10 or 15 spots that I make available. So you got to get on it quick if you want to get in, because the queue fills up in about half an hour, 40 minutes or something like that. In the past, I let people just keep signing up, but I didn't like the way that worked because what happened was people were waiting for about a month to do their visits, and that ain't great. I don't want to do that to people. I want people to feel like when their house is ready or when they're just about ready, they sign up, and then they should expect their place to be visited the following week. So that's the kind of expectation I want to set for folks. So that I think that feels better. I think it feels better. The drawback, of course, is spots fill up fast, which is unfortunate. The way to bypass that right now, there's one way to bypass it, and it's only if you are part of a guild or a community, and then you sign up all at once. And then to do that, you just DM me and talk to me about it, and then we'll make the arrangements and stuff, and then we set a schedule. But that has like different rules and all that. I need to call in sick for a visit. Sucks, but it's the cleanest way for me to do it. Otherwise, again, people would have been waiting for like months, not months, but at this rate, if I just opened up the queue, it would have been insane. It would have been absolutely insane to do that. What's the red watch my character was wearing? It's something from the trading post. So it is the ruby-faced mobile timepiece. Our clan battle hammer has a full neighborhood full of great dwarven houses. DM me on Discord, and then we'll talk about stuff, and we can schedule something. I mean, for your place, we'll still see it tomorrow. But if you want to set up like a whole group thing, we can do that. There is a group thing that's going to happen next week. At some point soon, I think I'm still trying to finalize the schedule, but I'll be visiting the Waukia group. For those who are familiar with their Discord channel, there's a selection of houses that they have. That's going to be a special one because they're a big group. So I think they have at least like 9 or 10 people that will be visiting. So they're really gonna suck the oxygen out of one of the upcoming weeks. So yeah. Is that my pet? Yep. That is Rufus, which I believe is not for sale right now. It was the charity pet. I don't know if it's come back yet. I don't remember. All right. So that's going to be it for now. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time. All the cool stuff as always. You guys have a great rest of your day. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, stay